Dodgers and Braves in Game 3 of the NL Division Series on Fox.
Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium in its final season of operation, and the Braves would love nothing more than to finish off this venue in a blaze of glory. With a commanding 2-0 lead over the Dodgers, the hometown defending champs are off and running in the postseason party, and with one more win, they'll advance to the NL Championship Series. As expected, the first 2 games of the series have been pitching gems, with the Braves eking out 1-run wins in each. And hello again, everybody, and welcome to Fox Sports coverage of the National League Division Series. I'm Chip Carey from the Fox Television Center in Hollywood, and joining me are my usual partners, future Hall of Famer Dave Winfield and Steve Lyons. Guys, great playoff action today. It continues. What surprised you so far?
Well, so far, a lot of conservative baseball going on out there, a lot of solo home runs. And the Yankees, look at that series, Yankees and Texas. The Yankees just will not go away. They're ahead 5-4 right now. 2 great performers in that series right now. Bernie Williams is on fire. And, oh, my goodness, Juan Gonzalez, 5 home runs. Just unbelievable.
Why does it surprise me about home runs? Just because you couldn't hit them?
Because I don't know what it feels like.
Talking to home runs, what's impressed me is Baltimore. Baltimore has been very strong. Here, Cleveland has been in the playoffs before, but, hey, they've been running to the bomb shelters because that's what Baltimore has done. Put them down 2-0. They're fighting for their lives.
Well, let's talk about all those ball clubs. A couple of other playoff games going on today, both in the crucial Game 4 of their series. And let's get you caught up on the action and take a look around the yard. Big crowd on hand at the Jake. Baltimore trying to wrap up the series. Top second, Baltimore 1-0. Bobby Bonilla says Kapaya. Rafael Palmeiro had homered earlier. 2-0. Baltimore leads over Charlie Nagy. Bottom of the 4th inning, though, the Tribe comes back in a must-win situation. Sandy Alomar tries to get everybody fired up. He singles over Todd Zeal's glove at third. Julio Franco scores. Manny Ramirez scores, tying the game at 2 apiece. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Omar Vizquel stands in. He hits a shot to left field. Jose Vizcaíno scores from second. Cleveland has its first lead in the ballgame. 3-2 is the score at that point. Right now, 3-2, top of the 8th. Wells and Ossenmacher, the pitchers in the ballgame. How about the Yankees and the Rangers? Juan Gonzalez, he is having a whale off a series, and he says, Kapaya. 5th home run, a major league record. Texas jumps in front of the Yankees 3-0. Top of the 4th, 4-1. New York comes back. Never count out the Yankees in the late innings. Mariano Duncan stands in as Gonzalez celebrating, and watch Duncan rip a shot into left center field. Tino Martinez puffing and puffing. I think I can. And he does score to make it 4-2 Texas. Top 5, it's Bernie's weekend. He says Kapaya. He takes the Roger Pavlik pitch deep to right field. 4-4. The Yankees have tied the game in the 5th. Moments ago, in the top of the 7th, Roger Pavlik gives it up again. Big Cecil Fielder. Oh, what an insertion into the lineup for Joe Torre instead of Darryl Strawberry. Timmy Raines scores. Yankees take a 5-4 lead. The score right now at the ballpark in Arlington, still 5-4. Weathers and Russell. Texas must win to stay alive. What a series this has been. What a series for Juan Gonzalez. The Yankees can't solve this guy.
You can talk about Juan Gonzalez, but I'll tell you what the difference is here is the relief pitching. If Texas had the relief pitching of the New York Yankees, the series would have been over in 3. But the Yankees know how to come back. They've done it all year. They've outscored the opposition 7th, 8th, 9th innings. 280 to 199.
Yeah, it's a good thing that they have Juan Gonzalez, because Johnny Oates, the manager of the Texas Rangers, has become very conservative with his ball club. Rodriguez had to bunt twice in Game 1. He hadn't bunted all season long. And then they had Hamilton on first base with Nelson on the mound. Nelson's a leaner, an easy guy to get a jump off. He didn't steal. The game was tight at the time. They needed a jump right there. They're not playing the same kind of baseball they did the rest of the season.
And quickly, guys, Cleveland and Baltimore, finally, it seems Albert Bell's grand slam has woken up the Indian ball club.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how about that Benitez? Just challenging Albert Bell. Man, that was quite a confrontation.
You've seen a lot of life in these guys. I have not seen these guys play as excited as they are right now. This was always a real cool ball club. They hung back. They're real excited because they know their backs are against the wall.
They're playing like last year.
And, of course, tonight it's the Cardinals and the Padres. San Diego down 2-0. They have to win the last 3 to advance, but they've done it before, Dave, 1984.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 1 out of 3 times in history. It's going to be very hard for the San Diego Padres to come back because, as you said, only 3 times in history has a team come back from 2 games down in a short series.
All right, should be a great series in San Diego with the Cardinals playing. Now, if Cleveland wins today, we, of course, will have Game 5 of that series between the Indians and the Baltimore Orioles tomorrow. at Jacobs Field in Cleveland. Now, coming up today, let's set the stage for today's big game in Atlanta. The Los Angeles Dodgers send Hideo Nomo, a 16-game winner, including that remarkable no-hitter at Coors Field, to the mound. He'll face the Braves left-hander Tom Glavine. What about this series, guys? I mean, this has been pitching, pitching, pitching. Not much hitting for either side, but it's Atlanta 2. Dodgers nothing in the series. I
mean, when you examine numbers that the Dodgers have put up recently, I mean, since Hideo Nomo's no-hitter, they've used to score over 5 runs a game. They're scoring about a run and a half less per game. But when you don't hit home runs, you score 7 runs in the last 58 innings. These guys are looking a little weary now.
Yeah, well, you know, it would be tough to face the two guys that they face. You look at John Smoltz, he comes out, he's going to win the Cy Young Award this year. And then you face the next guy, Maddox, he's won the last 4. Not too easy to get a lot of hits. But then, you know, the Braves are lucky, too. They've only had one guy on their entire team that has more than 1 hit in the 2 games. That's Fred McGriff. He is, too.
Yeah, it's amazing. Everybody talks about how bad L.A.'s offense has been. They have 8 hits. The Braves have 9 hits in the series, but the good pitching has been the difference.
And no hits with a guy on base. They have not driven in a run. Yeah. All their runs coming from solo homers.
Everybody's looking at Mike Piazza and saying, is this guy tired? Is this guy tired? The numbers certainly show that he is. So does the videotape, too, Steve. 2 days in a row, he's had a chance to hit a home run for L.A., but hasn't had enough.
Well, that's game 1, and we talked about that before. He drove that ball. He hit it well. That's a ball that should go out of the park, and it would have a month ago. You see his reaction right there. Just doesn't quite get all of that one.
And, you know, the problem is Mike Piazza's been the heart and soul of this ball club all year. If he hits, the team goes as Mike Piazza goes.
And the team, as you said, Dave, since the Nomo no-hitter, have hit just .208. They're scoring 3.5 runs a game. Their ERA is still very good at 3.31. But how about this? The Dodgers have not hit a home run since September 25th. Now, other news regarding the Los Angeles Dodgers. Their former manager, Tommy Lasorda, underwent surgery yesterday to reopen the same blocked artery which led to his heart attack this past June. We're happy to report following the surgery, his doctors reported Lasorda suffered no damage to his heart, and he could be released over this weekend. Fantastic news for Dodger fans, fantastic news for Tommy Lasorda, and all of us at Fox wish him a speedy recovery. All right, time for the ball game. It's the Dodgers and the Braves, a must-win situation for Los Angeles. Let's send it out now to Joe Buck and Tim McCarver for the call.
All right, Chip, thank you very much. It is a cool and windy day here in Atlanta, getting ready for the Dodgers and the Braves. And hello, everybody. My name is Joe Buck. Happy to have you with us for Game 3 of this division series between the world champions and the Los Angeles Dodgers. You know, a closer look at the first 2 games of this series reveals what everybody thought would happen coming in. Very little offense, a lot of very good pitching, and I guess the difference would be the 4 home run hit by the Atlanta Braves. The long ball is the difference, and right now the Braves lead this series 2 games to none. I welcome in my partner, Tim McCarver. And Tim, here we go. Good pitching, same song, 3rd verse. You've got Tommy Glavine and Hideo Nomo.
And, Joe, we thought that since pitching was the dominant theme in this series and will continue to be so, we would take a close look at the anatomy of an out, the elements involved in getting an out. A pitcher usually is ahead in the count. Usually there's late movement. He could change speeds, or he could overpower a hitter, or location. And when you consider the 2 pitchers tonight, enormously successful Tommy Glavine and Hideo Nomo, with completely different styles. Tommy Glavine, great control on the outside part of the plate to right-handed batters. He throws change-ups in fastball situations. Hideo Nomo, on the other hand, a power pitcher with perhaps the best split-finger fastball in either league.
So you've got a good matchup, not only the Braves and the Dodgers, but you've got last year's Rookie of the Year against last year's World Series MVP. Hey, the Dodgers face elimination. They have to win here today. They play behind Nomo. Get ready. It's National League Division Series Game 3 coming up after this word from your local Fox station. For the world champion Atlanta Braves to take the field here at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. This is game number 3 of the National League Division Series between these 2. And now a look at the Dodgers starting lineup. They'll lead it off with Chad Curtis, then Todd Hollandsworth. Mike Piazza hit 36 home runs during the regular season, none in the postseason. How about Eric Karras? So far in the postseason, 0 for 6. Then Raul Mondesi, Tim Wallach, Greg Gagne hitting 7th. Juan Castro another start. He's at second base hitting 8th, and on the mound pitching batting 9th is Hideo Nomo. The defense for Atlanta, Chipper Jones is at 3rd. Move him around, it doesn't matter. He can just flat out play. And on the mound today for Atlanta, first you have Smoltz, then you go to Maddox. And now in game 3, take your chances with Tommy Glavine. We await the Braves to take the field as the umpires walked out. They received a standing ovation. Isn't it great to know that the umpires are here and will be with us for the rest of the postseason?
That's an unprecedented move by a crowd. I don't think I have ever seen a standing ovation for an umpire or a group of umpires. But the home plate umpire will come into play with Tommy Glavine on the mound tonight.
The standing ovation as the umpires walked in. The home plate umpire is Dana DeMuth. He will work the plate as Tom Glavine will work the corners. And Hideo Nomo will work that fastball and the split-fingered pitch. There are the umpires. DeMuth behind home plate with Pulley, Wendelstedt, Bonet around the infield. Down the left field line, it's Jim Quick. And down the right field line, it's Jerry Davis. There are the world champions. They take the field. They could eliminate the Dodgers with a win here this afternoon. Leo Mazzoni is in charge of this Atlanta Braves pitching staff. We asked him how special his staff is here in Atlanta.
Over a 6-year period, it's been some of the greatest pitching in the history of baseball with basically the same cast of characters. So I'm real proud of them, and I think they go down as one of the greatest rotations of all time. And I think the reason for that is it's a 6-year run, not a 1 or 2-year run.
Folks, do not be fooled and think that this Atlanta Braves pitching staff runs itself. Leo Mazzoni is in charge, and Tim, we could sit down there and talk to Leo about the philosophy of pitching all day long.
Matter of fact, we did for about an hour and a half today. Very interesting man. The reason we said that Tommy Glavine and the home plate umpire would be connected today, how liberal will home plate umpire Dana DeMuth be with Tommy Glavine's fastball on the outside corner to right-handed batters? If Dana DeMuth gives him that pitch just off the plate, it could be a long day for Dodger hitters. Glavine stays away from right-handers. He'll come inside occasionally, primarily when he's ahead in the count. He'll sprinkle in, I guess, an occasional breaking ball, but primarily he, like Greg Maddux, fastball changeup pitcher.
He has a career ERA of over 5 in the first inning, and then it drops. So if you're going to get Tom Glavine, and today it's the Dodgers trying to get him early. Just to give you perspective on what's happening with the Dodgers, last year they were swept in the playoff, the division series, by Cincinnati. They went 3 games, scored 7 runs. This year they've played 2 games, they've scored 3 runs, but only 1 earned run. And the offense for Billy Russell is struggling. They appear tired. Everybody believing that Mike Piazza is out of gas this time of year. He has a couple of singles in this series. Karras is hitless. And against this Atlanta team, it doesn't matter how good a pitching staff you have. Right now, the Dodgers are faced with throwing a shutout, allowing 1 run to give them a chance to win because the offense right now just isn't doing the job.
Losing their last 4 regular season games and 2 straight to the Braves.
Chad Curtis leads it off for the Dodgers, facing Glavine. Right through it. Strike 1.
A Dodger adjustment is seen immediately. Look how on top of the plate Chad Curtis is, trying to take the outside fastball away from Glavine.
During the regular season, after being traded to LA, Curtis hit .212, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Did not do much when he came to Los Angeles. He pops it foul. Back and out of play for strike 2. Big crowd, a sellout here at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. It's a cool day, and it just feels like October. And when you play baseball in October, at least since 1991, you expect to see the Atlanta Braves out on the field. Curtis right on top of the plate. 0-2 from Glavine. Curtis in charge of trying to jumpstart this offense today. Hollingsworth had been the leadoff hitter for the better part of the second half of the regular season, batting second. 1-2, now 2-2.
The last time Tommy Glavine pitched in this ballpark, it was a brilliant victory against the Cleveland Indians. A 1-hitter over 8 innings in last year's World Series, the clincher.
2-2, got it. And a good start for Glavine here this evening.
That looked like a fastball tailing away off the plate to Chad Curtis. Yep. About 4 inches off the plate. And Curtis is down. First strikeout of the ball game.
So Curtis gone, and now Hollingsworth with Piazza to follow. Tom Glavine has not lost a playoff game here at home since 1992. The Los Angeles Dodgers have lost 5 straight postseason games. I mean, all the numbers matching up not too favorably for LA. But here they are, the Dodgers, with a chance to try to extend this series to at least 4 games. They will have Nomo on the mound here in Atlanta. It's a fastball from Glavine and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Glavine made 1 division series start last year, had a no decision. Went 7 innings, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits against Colorado.
And then in the World Series, he was 2-0 against Cleveland, allowing only 4 hits in 14 innings.
One out, nobody on. Curtis struck out. Hollingsworth gets into one into left. Klesko over his head. Extra bases for Hollingsworth. It's a 1-out double. Hollingsworth got it started 2 days ago in LA, scored the first run in the first inning, and now here he is batting second with a double.
Joe, we talked about Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach of the Braves. He said a left-handed batter who is normally a low ball hitter, when he faces left-handed pitching, he becomes a high ball hitter. And that pitch high out over the plate, hammered to left field by Hollingsworth. Second hit of the series for Todd. He's 2 for 9 in these 3 games.
So he's at second with 1 out. The batter is Piazza. 2 out of 8 in this series with an RBI, and that came on an infield ground out. And his 2 are 2 singles. Looking to thump one here in the first. Glavine keeps it down and away. Piazza this season a career high in home runs with 36. Breaking the Los Angeles Dodgers record of 35, which was his own from a year ago. Runner at second, 1 out. That's out of play for strike 1. Wind is really whipping around here in Atlanta on a cool afternoon here in October.
Tell you the one thing, and there are the effects of the wind that Joe was talking about. The one thing that Javier Lopez does not want to do, but has done over the first 2 pitches, he set up too early. A young player at second base may not be able to give pitch selection, but he could give location. Away again.
And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Dodgers struck first 2 nights ago at Dodger Stadium, only to lose on a 3-home run night by the Atlanta Braves. One by Klesko, one by McGriff in the winner off the bat of the rookie Jermaine Dye. Now 3-1 on Piazza with Karras waiting on deck.
Normally in the early innings, you don't like to pitch around hitters. The reason for that is the more hitters that are on base, the bigger chance for a big inning. But I think with the fact that Eric Karros led the National League in double play groundouts, could be on Glavine's mind right now.
Runner at second, 1 out. Off the end of the bat into right. That's going to fall. Hollingsworth will hold, and it's first and third, 1 out. Now they have Piazza hung up between first and second. With an eye on Hollingsworth, they have Piazza hung up. Here comes Hollingsworth. He is out.
You don't have many chances against the Braves. Had Mike Piazza continued to second, he makes it, but he went to second base late. And this is executed perfectly by the Atlanta infielders. Lemke recognizing Hollingsworth coming home, and the throw to Javier Lopez gets him. Piazza ends up on second, but a base running blunder by Mike Piazza. Lopez blocking off home plate, and Hollingsworth was out.
It scored 9-2, 6-4-2. And a runner at second, 2 out here in the first inning for Karros. One thing about the play and the hit, Hollingsworth did not recognize how deep Jermaine Dye was in right. That ball fell well in front of Dye.
That was the first mistake. You're exactly right, Joe. You got to check the outfielders, and Piazza hit the ball off the end of the bat, and the second mistake was made by Piazza. He didn't run towards second. He rounded the bag, and then he stopped. The high throw by Jermaine Dye was caught by Lopez, and by that time, Piazza broke towards second. He was caught in the rundown, and then Hollingsworth thrown out at home. 2 errors by the Dodgers, Hollingsworth and Piazza.
Now a 2-0 count on Karros. Runner at second, 2 out. Caught the outside corner, 2-1, and maybe an early indication as to just how wide the plate will get with Dana DeMuth behind home plate.
He is a very important key as far as Glavine is concerned, not so much as far as Nomo is concerned.
Glavine has allowed a double and a single in this inning, but no runs. There's strike 2. Karros drove in 111 runs during the regular season. Trying to put the Dodgers on top here in the first. Full count. And he did well to lay off that pitch. Mondesi waits on deck. Struck out Curtis to start the inning, then the 2 hits, the base running mistakes. Now the 3-2 to Karros. Got it. The Dodgers face elimination, and Tom Glavine here this afternoon in Atlanta. A missed opportunity in inning number 1. A man out at the plate, and after a half inning in Atlanta, no. Bottom of the first inning, definitely a missed opportunity for the Dodgers in the top of the first inning. How about the lineup? For the Braves, Marquise Grissom will lead off. Then Mark Lemke batting second. Chipper Jones, he's hitting third, 0 for 6 in the postseason. Then it's Fred McGriff. He homered 2 nights ago in L.A. Ryan Klesko, Javier Lopez, Jermaine Dye, Jeff Blauser hitting 8th at short. Tom Glavine pitching and batting 9th. The defense, how about Piazza? Threw out 3 of 5 potential base stealers in the first 2 games of this series. And don't forget the pickoff of Andruw Jones in the 9th inning 2 nights ago. And here is the right-hander, 16-game winner, Hideo Nomo.
He has had very good success against Atlanta this year, 2-0 in 3 starts. And you mentioned the running game. That perhaps could be part of the Atlanta offense this evening. Base runners have stolen 52 bases off of Nomo this year, 81 over the last 2 years.
That is especially surprising when you consider no other pitcher has allowed 50 over the last 2 years. There's a ball to Marquise Grissom. Leading off for Atlanta, 1 out of 8 in this division series. During the year, hit .308 with 207 hits. That will drop out of play, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
Marquise, one of 15 children. He's used to crowds like this, right?
Absolutely. Happy they're not around a dinner table. Here watching the Braves try to clinch and move on to the National League Championship Series. Two balls and a strike on Grissom. Right-hander Hideo Nomo, 16 and 11 during the regular season. 8th best ERA of 3.19. Threw the no-hitter in Colorado. Has a 2-2 count on Grissom leading off. Big assignment for the young Hideo Nomo, and that forkball was about 49.5 feet to home plate.
One hops it to Piazza.
Barely made the dirt.
Yeah.
Dave Wallace, the pitching coach for the Dodgers. Nothing wrong with the Dodger pitching in this series. From Martinez to Valdez, now Nomo. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Grissom. Got him, and a good start for Nomo. So each half of the first inning starts with a strikeout.
A split finger fastball setting the tone of Nomo's performance. Going down and in. Most of the time, his splitter is not in the strike zone. It may be early in the count. As a matter of fact, he throws 2 different types of splitters. Early in the count for a strike, but with 2 strikes, it's in the dirt.
Here's Lemke, and that's why when we did the top of our show and you talked about velocity, such a key for Nomo when he has that good fastball. It just gives these hitters less time to react to fastball versus split-fingered pitch. That is a foul ball, and the count of 1-1 on Lemke. Lemke has played in more postseason games than anyone on this Atlanta Braves roster, and second only among second basemen in Major League history to Joe Morgan. Lemke has played in 48, Morgan 50. Strike 2 on Lemke.
Nicknamed the Tornado for this reason. Normally tornadoes do not go this far inland, but today's an exception. You know, it's 5 a.m. now in Japan on Sunday morning. Japan, a country of about 120 million people, half of the United States, and we are told that 40 to 50 million people are watching this broadcast live at 5 a.m. in Japan.
Lemke laid off the split finger delivery in the count 3-2. Some of the still photographers, they take still pictures, but they'll move every once in a while, those people, especially when a foul ball shoots their direction. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on, and Lemke stays alive.
Imagine folks in Japan now getting up at 3 a.m. for their pregame meal. Nomo coming on at 5 a.m. Don't know whether to have dinner or breakfast.
Stay out all night. Just turn on the TV set and watch Nomo. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lemke out in front, got him, 2 gone. So the forkball, the split-fingered pitch, definitely working here in the first inning for Nomo. He struck out the first 2 Braves and will work to Chipper Jones.
There is such a difference in Nomo's fastball, usually in the low 90s, and his splitter, usually in the low 70s. The difference in those speeds, one of the reasons why he's so effective.
Blows a fastball right by Chipper Jones for strike 1. Chipper has 3 postseason home runs to his credit, but so far in this division series, 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts. During the regular season, though, only his second full year in the big leagues, 30 home runs, 110 RBIs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hard hit. Karras can't handle it. And Jones is on with a 2-out first inning hit.
First hit of the series for Chipper Jones. He was 0 for 6 coming in with a couple of walks. This ball an in-between hop off the heel of the glove of Eric Karros and into shallow right field.
So a 2-out base runner for Atlanta. That keeps the inning alive for Fred McGriff. Fred homered 2 nights ago in the 7th inning off Ishmael Valdez to tie the game with the Dodgers. Later in that inning, Dye went deep to put the Braves on top. Now McGriff gets into one to right. Mondesi over his head. Jones digs for third. Here comes Chipper. He'll score. A 2-out RBI double, 1-0 Atlanta.
What Jones and McGriff did, they chose the fastball early in the count. The 1-1 pitch to Jones, a single, and the first pitch fastball to McGriff. Over the head of Mondesi. Mondesi gets too close to the wall. The carom off the edge of the glove. And Jones scores. Had Mondesi come up with this cleanly, they have a shot at Jones at home plate. Tricky carom, 1-0 Atlanta.
Now McGriff at second with 2 out. Braves have a lead, and Klesko looks at ball 1.
Joe, this is such a weird series. That is the first hit by the Atlanta Braves with a man on base in this series.
Not just a runner in scoring position, but with anybody on.
Right.
McGriff picks it up and puts the Braves on top here in the first. Now it's 2-0 on Klesko.
The Atlanta Braves have scored 5 runs coming into today's game on 4 solo homers and a sacrifice fly by Fred McGriff.
Klesko can look for a pitch on 2-0. 3-0. His numbers for the regular season: a home run 2 nights ago in LA.
He was swinging the other night, 3-0, and he'll be swinging here if it's a good pitch.
Runner at second, 2 out. Into left field, should be playable for Hollingsworth. Inning over. The bottom of the first inning for the Braves, productive. They look to put the Dodgers away today. A 2-out single by Jones, a 2-out RBI double by McGriff. After 1-0 Atlanta. Fulton County Stadium on your left, the new Ted Turner Stadium on your right. The Braves will move into Ted Turner Stadium next season. I finally get to work a postseason game and get those obligatory shots of Ted Turner and Jane Fonda. I've arrived. It's a big day in my life. Here is Raul Mondesi. Looks at ball 1. Good friends at Kroger Food Stores are flying high today with their blimp, the Spirit of Atlanta, to help Fox bring you this divisional matchup between the Braves and Dodgers. They'll be giving us pictures all afternoon and evening long. Mondesi off the end of the bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. In this playoff, Mondesi 1 out of 7 with an RBI.
You'd think Mondesi would be the guy that could handle, the type of guy that could handle Tommy Glavine. However, he's 0 for his last 10 with 6 strikeouts against Glavine.
Into right field, Jermaine Dye was playing deep, but recovered 1 away. So with 1 out here in the second inning, we go back to Hollywood. It's much warmer, and that's where Chip Caray is.
All right, Joe, thanks a lot. Robbie Alomar has been the story of this postseason. Today he does it for a different reason. 2 strikes, 2 outs, top 9. A base hit off Jose Mesa, scores Manny Alexander, ties the game at 3. Indians have a man on, nobody out in the bottom half, and also have 18 strikeouts. Timmy, remind you of Bob Gibson 28 years ago?
Thank you, Chip. So the Cleveland Indians trying to win to force a game 5. Blow the lead in the 9th inning. Alomar gets him, and now they'll have to go back to work to stay alive. Here's Tim Wallach, 1 out, nobody on. Took a ball. Now ball 2.
Chip referring to Bob Gibson's remarkable performance back in 1968, the first game of the '68 World Series, Tigers and Cardinals, when Gibson struck out 17 on a day about like this. Cool, great day to play baseball.
Really wasn't a bad year for Gibson, was it?
No, not too shabby that year. 1.12 ERA. He went through 195 inning stretch that year, giving up 1 earned run.
One out, nobody on, and a 3-0 count on Wallach. How about that? Swinging on 3-0, and the count 3-1. There is Greg Maddux. He was the winner in game 2 of this series. Left with a slightly pulled right hamstring. That was the reason he left that game after 7. Wallach fouls it down the right field line. The count full.
Yeah, speaking of remarkable performances, I mean, Maddux last year against Cleveland in game 1, a 2-hitter, and the other day in Los Angeles, mind-boggling, 14 balls in 7 innings. He threw an average of 2 balls an inning. Go figure. How can you do that?
Leo Mazzoni just talking about it before the game, saying you think that's amazing. He was for a couple of years doing that, start after start after start. And you made the point that that effort 2 nights ago by Maddux would be most pitchers' dream game.
Yeah, that'd be the best game they ever pitched. For Maddux, it was routine. And that's not overstating it either.
1 out, nobody on. 3-2 to Wallach. Got him out in front. 2 out. And 3 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 for Glavine.
And folks, like we were talking before the game about that lane of Tom Glavine, he has not thrown a fastball inside to right-handed batters yet. Right here, he will stay in that lane all night long until the Dodgers prove that they can hit it. So far, no runs, a squandered chance in the first.
3 strikeouts, 2 out, nobody on. He came back from 3-0 to get Wallach, and now Gagne. Greg had a couple of hits in the first game of the series. Hitless 2 nights ago in LA. And here with 2 out, nobody on in the second inning, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Talked about Glavine's struggles in the first inning. Dodgers had their chance, a double, a single, a man out at the plate. It looks like Glavine has settled down. Count still 1-2 on Gagne. Billy Russell took over permanently July 29th. Want to send our get well wishes to Tom Lasorda. Resting comfortably back in LA. Second angioplasty. That's to the right side and foul. Tommy Lasorda had a June 26th procedure to open an artery. Then he had a repeat angioplasty. Evidently everything went well. And you know Tommy is tuned in back in LA. Two out, nobody on for the Dodgers here in the second. Gagne a pretty tough at bat here against Glavine.
You might say, well, if Tommy Glavine throws only fastballs and changeups away, why don't more hitters move up on the plate? Well, Glavine throws hard enough that if he sees them doing that, then he'll pop them inside. But Gagne is up on the plate right now.
1-2.
Like that.
Just missed in the count, 2-2.
This is the first fastball that he's thrown inside, and that was because Gagne was creeping toward the outside part of the plate. You could see with the stride of the left foot. Now he'll go back out there.
He went inning over. 4 strikeouts in 2 innings for Glavine. Bottom of inning number 2. Atlanta bats. They lead the Dodgers 2-0 and 1-0 this afternoon. Many who live in this great city of the South make plans for October. All vacations start in November. They know that when October rolls around, there's a very good chance this Atlanta Braves club will still be playing. And here they are with a chance to wrap up a divisional series with the Dodgers. It's up to Hideo Nomo to keep the Dodgers alive, down 2-0. And here in the second inning, down 1-0. And they have the brooms out already here in Atlanta.
I don't think I've ever seen a tomahawk broom.
It could come in very useful, though. Take dust off the top of a refrigerator. Those hard to reach places, Tim. Here's Javier Lopez leading off. He looks at ball one. He'll be followed by Jermaine Dye and then Jeff Blauser. During the regular season, hit .282. It was the game home run in game number 1 of this series, the game-winning home run. 10th inning blast off Antonio Osuna back at Dodger Stadium. That was on Wednesday. 1 ball, 1 strike. That is crushed, but foul and off the end of the bat. Game number 1, it was the 10th inning. Antonio Osuna kept pounding Lopez away. Javier caught up. And on that swing, and then good relief work from Wohlers after 9 strong innings from Smoltz, the Braves took game 1. Now the 1-2 from Nomo. Splitter bounced in there, 2-2. Lopez leading off the second. Now 3-2.
Nomo threw a 3-2 splitter to Marquise Grissom to lead off the game. We'll see what Lopez gets. Looks like the splitter.
And Lopez gets a piece.
Talked earlier, there's Dave Wallace, the Dodger pitching coach. We talked earlier about the 2 types of splitters that Nomo throws. He throws one when he needs a strike. That was what that last one was.
Lopez fouls one back here, and the count will stay full. Nomo struck out the first 2. Then a hit by Jones and an RBI double by McGriff. Against the Braves this season, 3 starts, a record of 2-0, and an ERA of 1.61. Here in the second, a leadoff walk. With that, we go back to Chip Caray in Hollywood for another update. Chip.
All right, guys, what a day for Bernie Williams in Texas. His second home run of the day. One left-handed, one right-handed. This one in the 9th inning makes it 6-4 Yankees. Rodriguez, Greer, and Gonzalez 2 up against John Wetland in the bottom of the 9th. Texas has to win to stay alive. Back to you in Atlanta.
Thank you, Chip. So a series that has been highlighted with the home run ball. Juan Gonzalez hitting 1 today and 5 in that series.
Unbelievable.
1 on, nobody out for Atlanta. Second inning, and the batter is Dye. Strike 1.
Yankees have come from behind against the Rangers 3 times in their series. 4-1 in game 2, where the Rangers leading New York. They won that game. And they were behind 2-1 last night and trailing 4-0 this afternoon. Taking the lead again.
Good fastball from Nomo, strike 2. Hideo Nomo trying to pitch around a leadoff walk to Javier Lopez. Good fastball, and Dye is gone in a blink. 3rd strikeout for Nomo.
Fastball low and away. You can see Nomo keeping an eye on Lopez. Lopez is not a fast runner. Jermaine Dye coming up empty. That low fastball had some hop on it.
I would imagine for a guy like Nomo, though, who has had a tough time holding runners on and teams have been stealing at will, it almost doesn't matter who's over at first. You get a little batty with runners taking bases on you, and everybody becomes a threat.
Yeah, you become overly concerned. You can't distinguish between the guys who can run and the guys who can't.
Blauser, the number 8 hitter, strike 1 on Jeff. He is 1 out of 6 in this series. During the regular season, hit 10 home runs. Went down on July 16th with a broken left hand, and he's worked his way back healthy and starting each of the first 3 games of this playoff with LA. Lopez led off with a walk. Dye struck out. And 2 quick strikes on Blauser. Blauser, the number 8 hitter, so the pitcher, a very good hitting pitcher, Tom Glavine, waits on deck. Well, if there is a question, Tim, coming in each and every time Nomo pitches about his velocity, I would say so far so good for Nomo.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball very well. Chipper Jones with 2 out and nobody on, a base hit off the glove of Karros, and then the double by McGriff. I think the best policy and the best strategy against Nomo is to look for a fastball early in the count, hope you get it, and don't foul it back.
Blauser staying alive. On our Fox box in the top left-hand corner of your screen, see the red dot, first base bag, indicating in this case Javier Lopez is on. How about that look? I mean, that took some time, and you really have to wonder. There's an old catcher.
Wonder how he found time to do that.
0-2 pitch. 78 miles per hour from Nomo.
That was a rather bizarre outfit.
Huh?
Halloween's what? 26 days away. He's either early or late.
I think he's a little late, Tim. You never know how those catchers are going to end up later in life. Blauser stays alive. Some go on to become championship television analysts. Others just highly celebrated cheerleaders walking around one ballpark from another.
So that's what Mike Piazza has to look forward to, right?
One or the other. He's been rather cooperative with us with sound bites and whatnot, so I would pick the announcer's route if I were him. 1 on, 1 out, and a 1-2 pitch. Fastball missed. 2-2.
Regardless of your speed, and Javier Lopez, we have said, is not a fast runner. If you look for that splitter in the dirt, you ought to go on contact. Take a chance with the pitcher coming up next.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now 3-2. So it was 0-2. Nomo hitting 89 miles per hour with that last pitch. And from 0-2 and 3-2 now, with Tom Glavine waiting on deck.
I don't think there's any question. I think Lopez is going to take off with the pitch, because by running with 1 out, he stands the best chance to get to third base, and that's where he'd like to be if Blauser gets a hit.
He is going. It's ball 4, and it's 2 on, 1 out. A lot of updates. It must be October. Back to Hollywood and Chip Caray.
It's the best time of year, isn't it, Joe? Cleveland, 3-3, bottom 9. Runners second and third. Kenny Lofton calling Mr. Freeze. Jesse Orosco, he punches him out. They go to the 10th, tied at the J.
Joe, one of the ancillary things, when a base runner is running, sometimes a catcher will come up and actually block the pitch from the home plate umpire. You see how Piazza came up. He could have taken the strike away in his effort to throw to second base. That pitch was a borderline pitch. I think Mike, talking to Dana DeMuth right now, he wanted that pitch.
We have seen already this season examples where a catcher, in fact it was a Dodger-Padre game, will let the runner go in order to try to get that borderline pitch.
Right.
There's ball 1 to Glavine, showing bunt at least on the first pitch. They don't get much better than Tom Glavine with regard to pitchers at the plate. Hit .289 this season. 22 out of 76.
I'll tell you, a play that Bobby Cox could be thinking about now is a hit and run. Have the runners running. That's how well he handles the bat.
Well enough to watch the first 2 miss. It's 2-0. If that happens, you'll see some infielders backpedaling and trying to get out of the way.
Especially Tim Wallach at third. Wallach is the defensive captain who gives the signs to the infielders whether to put the rotation play on or whether to play it straight up. It looks like the Dodgers are playing it straight up. No wheel play.
2 on, 1 out, 2-0 the count. Going to swing. Strike one. So Nomo falls behind Tom Glavine, and at least for that last pitch, it almost takes that guaranteed out away. By falling behind Glavine, now you have Tom swinging the bat as opposed to dropping down a bunt to try to advance the runners.
Bobby may have given him one shot and then gone back to the sacrifice. Karros way in at first, Wallach way in at third.
2-1 now on Glavine. Gonna bunt again. Perfect. Sacrifice 5-4.
Thing about the Atlanta pitching staff is they do so many things to help themselves. Glavine, an excellent fielder, handles the bat exceptionally well. And here's the defense. Dodgers playing it straight up. The bunt to Wallach at third base. Juan Castro, the second baseman, covering on the play.
Now a hit could mean two. Second and third, 2 out. Marquise Grissom at the plate, struck out his first time. Grissom drove in a career-high 74 during the regular season.
11 wild pitches thrown by Nomo this year also. That ball in the dirt, a possibility. Really puts a ton of pressure on the catcher because you have to call the pitch, the most successful pitch in getting the hitter out, which is a splitter. But if he throws the good one, it could be in the dirt.
Braves already leading 1-0. Second and third, 2 out. Back over our heads for strike 2. Talk about a key at bat early for Bobby Cox and the Braves, but maybe more important for the Dodgers to try to stay in this game. Lopez led off with a walk, then a 1-out walk to Blauser. They're at second and third, 2 out, and a 1-2 pitch coming to Grissom. There's the pitch in the dirt, nicely blocked by Piazza.
That's a terrific play by Piazza because it's the in-between bounce. The ones that hit in front of home plate are the toughest pitches to block. Fine play by Mike Piazza.
You'll hear people say that Piazza is not a good catcher, mainly talking about his throwing, but handling this pitching staff, getting down, blocking balls in the dirt, definitely above average. Second and third, 2 out, and he does it again. A 3-2 count on Grissom. Nomo had Grissom set up at a ball and 2 strikes. Now it's 3-2. To third for Wallach. The veteran takes care of Grissom. Nomo takes care of Atlanta. After 2, Braves out in front 1-0. We'll be back to Fulton County Stadium after this from your local Fox station. Into the top of the third inning. Dodgers will bat. They trail by 1. Tom Glavine back to work. He will deal with the number 8 hitter Juan Castro, then Hideo Nomo and Chad Curtis. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Dodgers here in the third. Castro right on top of the plate. Pretty good swing. Strike 1. Juan Castro next season may end up the second baseman for the Dodgers. Seems a foregone conclusion that Delano DeShields is finished in L.A.
That was a very liberal strike called by Dana DeMuth. There's Delino DeShields. I think everybody's opinion, Delino's contract will not be renewed by Fred Clare, the general manager of the Dodgers.
Leading it off, 0-2 pitch. Wouldn't chase it. Thought it was interesting what Leo Mazzoni said about pitching inside. You hear pitching coaches and pitchers thumping their chest about pitching inside. He said that's great as long as you can then control that pitch low and away like that from Glavine. 2-2.
Pitching, like anything else, is timing. Tom Glavine has gone inside one time in this ball game, and that was to Greg Gagne in the second.
The other way, Castro pokes it foul, and still a 2-2 count.
Now, the one thing about Glavine, that's not to say that the second time the Dodgers come up and see him that he won't come inside, because Glavine adjusts to the lineup. One time through the lineup, he may stay away. The second time through the lineup, he'll pop him inside occasionally.
Castro pops one into center for Grissom. Glasses down. He's there, one away. Another update, another trip back to Hollywood, and another Chip Caray update. Go ahead, Chip.
All right, Joe, it's been a long time since the Yankees have gone to the ALCS. They are on their way. John Wetland just punched out Dean Palmer. 6-4 the final score. Bernie Williams had 2 home runs. Right now, they're also tied in Cleveland 3-3, bottom of the 10th inning, with the heart of the Cleveland order due up.
All right, Chip, thank you. So for those of you who may have been tuned into that game, we are in Atlanta for Game 3 of this division series between the Braves and the Dodgers. Dodgers down 2-0. Hideo Nomo batting here in the 3rd inning. Atlanta out in front on a Fred McGriff 2-out RBI double back in the 1st. The Dodgers in the 1st inning got a 1-out double from Hollingsworth. Then a hit by Piazza. Hollingsworth didn't score. He got caught up in a rundown. Then Piazza got caught up in a rundown. And eventually Hollingsworth was tagged out at the plate on a play that went 9-2, 6-4-2 to keep the Dodgers off the scoreboard. 2-1 to Nomo. Fastball from Glavine, 2-2.
Joe, you think of the position the New York Yankees are in. They beat the Cleveland Indians 6 times in their own ballpark. 6-0 against Cleveland in Cleveland, and they won the last 6 out of 7 against Baltimore. So as far as Joe Torre's Yankees are concerned, they really don't care who wins in that divisional playoff.
One out, nobody on. Now 2 out, nobody on, and Glavine has struck out 5. For those of you just joining us, back in the 1st inning, the double by Hollingsworth with 1 out. Then the hit by Piazza. He gets caught in the rundown. Hollingsworth trying to score, tagged out. Very good play by Lopez, blocking the plate.
And Joe, you brought up the first key point, that Jermaine Dye was deep in right field, especially with Mike Piazza hitting. Todd Hollingsworth should have taken off anyway. That delay at second cost him the first time to score that run. And then Mike Piazza delayed after making the turn, and that delay caused the rundown that eventually got Hollingsworth.
Chad Curtis at the plate, 2 out, nobody on, and a count of 2-0. Curtis struck out his first time. Trying to keep this inning alive for Hollingsworth. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Glavine has retired 6 in a row. One on Curtis. Glavine has walked none, allowed no runs on 2 hits, and struck out 5. Hollingsworth next.
Curtis right on top of the plate. That missed.
A 2-out walk, and the first walk issued by Glavine. Another thing Leo Mazzoni talked to us about, especially with regard to Glavine, you go 3-1. You still make your pitch. You make that nasty changeup delivery, and if you walk him, you walk him. And here it is, a 2-out walk, and the inning continues for Hollandsworth.
That's the thing about Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddox, but especially Maddox and Glavine. As pitchers, they never give in to a hitter. Never.
Hollandsworth takes a strike on a fastball from Glavine. Todd got that double back in the first inning, and in this series, 3 out of 9. Curtis held by McGriff at first. Caught the outside corner, strike 2.
I think the refreshing thing about the Atlanta pitching staff, particularly their starters, is they prove once again that the fastball is the best pitch in baseball. A well-placed fastball, you talk about splitters, curveballs, sliders, all those other things, change-ups, circle changes. The fastball is still the best pitch in the game. If you can control that, you can win.
3 straight fastballs to Hollandsworth in a count of 1-2.
He's thrown 1 breaking ball, 3 change-ups, and here we are in the 3rd inning. The rest fastballs.
Curtis draws a throw. Already today, Glavine 1 walk, Nomo 2. Pitch count up for each pitcher. Each has allowed 2 hits. Dodgers lost a man at the plate. Braves got a 2-out RBI double from McGriff. Barely missed. 2-2. The Dodgers involved in a late weekend series with San Diego to determine the winner of the NL West. San Diego came to Dodger Stadium, swept LA, won the division. They're tangling with St. Louis, while the Dodgers drew Atlanta.
All the Dodgers had to do was win 1 of their last 4 games, and they would have played St. Louis. Not that St. Louis is any picnic, but when you go against the top 3 pitchers perhaps in baseball on one staff, that's choosing the worst poison, I think.
2-2 to Hollandsworth. He stays alive. I get a chance to follow the Cardinals around during the regular season. You're right, they are no picnic. They are a very dangerous team, and I think the Padres are finding that out if they didn't know that already. But I think even most Cardinals would tell you, if you had a choice, you'd rather play. Push Atlanta as far back in the playoff rounds as you can. Face them late. The Dodgers down 2-0 and trailing here 1-0. Curtis aboard with a 2-out walk and a 2-2 count on Todd Hollandsworth. Into left field for Klesko. What a catch to end the inning. Ryan Klesko takes one away from Hollandsworth and the Dodgers. And now after 2.5 at Fulton County Stadium, the world champs out in front 1-0.
Actually, as a hitter, you not only know how hard you hit the ball, but you know the trajectory of the ball that you hit. Watch Todd Hollandsworth. He hits a line drive and looks up. He loses the ball off the bat. I don't think I've ever seen a hitter do that.
So he didn't get a chance to watch Ryan Klesko make the diving catch to rob him of a hit.
Maybe it was better for Todd that he didn't watch it. Fine play.
Better for morale.
Yeah.
Definitely a sun field out in left field and center and part of right. Lemke leads it off to count 2-0. Chipper Jones and Fred McGriff will follow. Braves out in front 1-0. Bottom of inning number 3. Good pitch from Nomo, 2-1. Now 3-1. Imperative for Hideo Nomo to keep the Dodgers as close as he can. The Dodgers in their last 61 innings have scored only 8 runs and picked up only 34 hits. Talk about putting pressure on a pitching staff, and there's a little bickering going on between a lot of the Dodger hitters and some of the pitching staff.
That's the worst thing that could happen to a club in any part of the season. I know exactly what you're saying.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Lemke.
The hitters blame the pitchers, and the pitchers blame the hitters for not scoring runs, and the hitters blame the pitchers for not holding the other team down.
I'm sorry, but I don't see how any Dodger hitter can blame Dodger pitching for anything that's happened. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's hard hit to Karras. Nice play, the flip, the out. And the leadoff man Lemke is gone here in the 3rd inning. These Dodgers offensively have scored only 1 earned run in this series.
That on the double by Todd Hollingsworth, driving in Greg Gagne. Lemke hit it well. Nice play, Karras.
So Eric takes care of Lemke, and now the batter Chipper Jones. Chipper a single off the glove of Karras his first time up. Eric couldn't take care of it to his right. That kept the 1st inning alive, and on the very next pitch, the first to McGriff, he doubled into right. And Jones scored all the way from first for the only run so far. And it was Chipper's first hit. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. McGriff would be next. Now 3-1.
Bobby Cox saying that last year after the World Series, he really didn't have a chance to enjoy the series. The day that the series ended and they beat Cleveland, John Schuerholz, the general manager, showed up in his office.
Barely missed, and a 1-out walk to Chipper Jones. 3rd walk issued by Hideo Nomo.
And the discussion was whether or not to sign Fred McGriff. They ultimately did that, and are they ever happy that they did?
Here is Fred, and here is his hit zone.
Pitchers try to come inside on McGriff, but if you get the ball down in the process, he can golf it out of the ballpark. Those balls in the back part of the plate, he does not miss too often.
One on, 1 out. McGriff jumped on the first pitch in his first at bat. Now he takes ball 1. 3 out of 8 in the postseason. Regular season hit 28 home runs. However, only 8 after the All-Star break. Jones running. Throw by Piazza. Chipper safe at second with 1 out.
Just a matter of time before the Braves took advantage of the slow release by Hideo Nomo. Mike Piazza had no chance to get Jones. It was a 1-hopper to Gagne. Jones is in there. Remember earlier we said 52 stolen bases against Nomo this year. No other pitcher in the major leagues had as many as 30 stolen against him.
Now Jones at second, 1 out, and a 2-0 count on McGriff. (3-0) with Klesko on deck.
Bobby Cox reinforcing Fred McGriff by putting Klesko behind him. That way you can't pitch around him. If you do, you have to answer to Klesko.
3-0 to McGriff. Ball 4, 2 walks in the inning. 4 on the day for Nomo, and McGriff draws the 1-out walk. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without express written consent. Back-to-back walks, a stolen base in the middle, and Dave Wallace will make a trip out to the mound and talk to Nomo. Action already for the Dodgers out in their bullpen. We saw him 2 nights ago in Los Angeles. Pedro Estacio cranking it up, trying to get ready in a hurry. They have to look at this game like Game 7 of any series.
Absolutely.
There will be no tomorrow for the Dodgers if they lose here today. And along the lines of nothing stacking up well for LA. Never in baseball history has a team down 0-2 won a 5-game series by sweeping 3 on the road. On top of that, the Braves have never lost 3 straight postseason games at home in the history of this franchise. So battling history and this good Atlanta pitching staff in this series. From here on out, 2 on, 1 out, Klesko, ball 1.
The deeper in the count that Nomo falls, the more predictable the pitch. Not only important to get a strike, but a strike right now to balance things out.
2 on, 1 out. Good fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. That was almost a predictable pitch.
That was a very important pitch right there. Now he can go to the splitter or go back to the fastball away.
Nomo trying to get around 2 third-inning walks. Klesko pops it up. Long run for Karras. Foul ball, 2 out. And the runners hold at first and second. So Klesko misses his chance, and now a 2 on 2 out chance for Javier Lopez. Javier drew a walk his first time up, leading off the second. 1 of 4 Hideo Nomo walks this afternoon. Just low, ball 1. Lopez trying to add to the Atlanta 3rd-inning lead. Won't do it. Gagne the flip for the final out here in the 3rd. Nomo gets away with 2 walks. Boy, that base is loud. After 3 in Atlanta, 1-0 Braves. 3 innings complete here in Atlanta. Braves out in front, 1-0. Back to work is Tom Glavine. He gets ready for the 4th inning. It will be Piazza, Karras, Mondesi. A big chance here for the Dodgers. Their big 3 coming up. Glavine so far has walked 1, allowed no runs on 2 hits, and struck out 5. Braves do not let up. Smoltz, Maddox, Glavine. Piazza has 3 singles in this series. Looks at ball 1.
Talk about a tough job. Either a past or a future Cy Young Award starting every game against you. That's what the Dodgers are looking at. Tom's vulnerable right here. That 2-0 pitch will be away, but Piazza with great power the other way.
Dodgers have gone 198 at-bats since their last home run, which was hit by Eric Karras September 25th at home against the Giants. Rio to Piazza, and on 4 straight, Mike draws a leadoff walk. Beautiful evening now here in Atlanta. Capacity crowd here at Fulton County Stadium. Views from above are provided by Kroger Food Stores Blimp, the spirit of Atlanta. Piloting today, Tristano Caracciolo and Bart Van Beest, with Nathan Crawford behind the camera.
See the outfield, they're playing a power hitter around toward right field. That gives you an idea of where Glavine's going to go. And he's missed on 5 in a row. This is a very dangerous situation for Glavine, especially facing a guy as powerful as Karros.
Eric's still looking for his first hit in this series. See him almost tell himself, go to right. 1 on, nobody out. Pulls it to short. Blauser, good play. 1 out. Got them both.
He was safe at first. Dodgers got a bad break there. Looked like Karros had the play beaten easily, but what a play by Jeff Blauser. Manny Mota, who rarely says anything, arguing with Frank Pulley. Look at the play by Blauser. He stumbles. He still gets a fine throw off. And Mark Lemke returning the throw to McGriff. The Braves with a break. Mark Lemke may turn the double play better than anybody, but as you could see right there, Karros was safe at first.
Another factor on that double play, Tim, was the speed of Piazza, because he was not on top of Lemke.
Yeah, right.
As Blauser bobbled the ball, had to go down and throw off balance. Piazza's lack of speed, he wasn't on top of Lemke, and at the very least, Mark was able to get off a throw. Even though it looked late, they get the 6-4-3 double play.
Yeah, second baseman will use the bag occasionally to ward off the base runner, and I think that's what Lemke did. After he made the play, he stepped back, used the second base bag for protection.
Now Mondesi hits one to deep right. Jermaine Dye off the top of the wall. He'll play it on a hop, and it's a 2-out double by Mondesi.
Now that play at first base looms huge. Karros was safe at first, and now with Mondesi the double, Karros could have scored on this play. At the very worst, the Dodgers would have had second and third and 1 out. But an idea of how strong Raul Mondesi is. He hit that ball flat-footed, bounced about 2 feet from the top of the wall. Mondesi with a 2-out double.
You almost have to put the Dodgers down in that category of snake bit.
Man.
I mean, you get the bad call on the double play. You get Mondesi hitting the ball off the top of the wall. You've now gone 61 2/3 innings, scoring only 8 runs on now 35 hits, and you're still shut out here in Atlanta. It takes another hit. It's up to Wallach.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for L.A.
How about in the first inning? They have a runner in scoring position. They get a hit. Hollingsworth does not put his head down and goes second to home, and he gets caught after Piazza got caught in the run down between first and second. Here it's 2-0 on Wallach, and now Tim has a chance to tie this game with a hit. That's out of play, strike 1. So a walk, an iffy double play ball. Braves caught a break on the call at first, then the double by Mondesi, and now a 2-1 count on Wallach. Two and two. Trying to get around a walk and a double here in this 4th inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Wallach, with Gagne waiting on deck. Glavine not too sharp here in this 4th inning. First 5 pitches of the inning missed the strike zone.
And second time through the lineup, too. Mondesi going deep to right field on a ball off the plate away.
3-2 to Wallach. We'll do it again. Now 74 pitches for Glavine this afternoon. Not very economical either. Leo Mazzoni as animated a pitching coach as there is in baseball. Swinton throwing with Glavine. 3-2 pitch to the shortstop Blauser. Waits, fields, throws. A leadoff walk, then a double play ball, then the double. Tom Glavine gets into and out of trouble in the 4th. Dodgers still shut out. They trail by 1. Braves bat at the bottom of the 4th inning. They have shut out the Dodgers on 3 hits. LA actually out hitting Atlanta. Braves got a 2-out RBI double from McGriff back in the 1st. They're still hanging on. Here's Jermaine Dye. A strikeout victim his first time. That's strike 1. Only 1 out of 8 in the postseason, but that one was essentially the game-winning home run on Thursday night. Nomo has walked 4 and allowed only those 2 hits. Dye pops it up. Long run for Karras. This would be a good play. 1 out. Tim, let's go back to that double play that was turned by the Braves at the top of this 4th.
Joe, we talked about Mark Lemke and about how he used the bag for protection. Because Blauser fell down, Lemke used the bag for protection, but Eric Karros safe at first base. Right here. Right there. Instead of sliding into Lemke, Mike Piazza slides into the bag just after the throw. That's how a second baseman will use that bag for protection when guys as big as Piazza are barreling down on you.
Leadoff man is gone. Now Blauser, the number 8 hitter. What a play he made to start that double play we just showed you. Strike 1. Jeff drew a walk his first time. Trying to get on ahead of Glavine. Blauser played in only 83 games during the regular season because of that broken left hand. And it was a race to see if Blauser could get healthy before the postseason began. He did. While he was out, Braves reacquired Terry Pendleton, put him in at 3rd. Chipper Jones to short. Blauser a test for Gagne. Good play, 2 out. So 2 out, nobody on, nothing shaken here in the 4th inning. Back to Hollywood and Chip Caray.
Well, what can you say? Robbie Alomar has just done it again. Jose Mesa, his 3rd inning of work, serves it up. Leading off the 12th, Robbie Alomar sets Capaya. 4-3 Baltimore. If they win, they advance. Indians with 22 strikeouts in the game, but losing by a run.
So trying to win for a date with the Yankees. They won today over Texas. Here's Glavine rocketing one to deep right. Mondesi plays it off the wall, and Glavine has a 2-out double.
Tom Glavine is such a good hitter that his batting average was almost higher than his earned run average. He had 289 on the year with 22 hits, 4 doubles, and doubles off Nomo with 2 out here in the 4th.
Whether it's playing defense as a pitcher, winning a Gold Glove like Maddox, dropping down a bunt, getting a big hit, this Atlanta pitching staff does it all. Now Glavine at 2nd, 2 out. Grissom looks at a strike from Nomo. Only 1 out of 10 in this divisional playoff held hitless in his last game. A ball and a strike.
And remember what we said earlier, it's a staggering thought. The Atlanta Braves are ahead of the Dodgers 2-0 in the series. We're in the fourth, and they have one hit in this series with runners on base. And that was in the first inning tonight when McGriff doubled in Jones.
Glavine the 2-out double and a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Grissom. Play, 4-strike-2, a ball and 2 strikes. And that stat that you talk about goes further to back the claim that the Dodger pitching staff has made. They're doing everything they can.
Absolutely.
I mean, what, do you have to go out and throw a shutout to win? That's asking way too much. Martinez was outstanding in game 1. 1 run through 8 innings. Valdez allowing the 3 home runs, but only 5 hits. Now Nomo just missed with a 2-2 count on Grissom. Ramon will pitch game 4 if this series continues. Talking with Ishmael Valdez. He'd like to run Martinez out there one more time. Runner at second, 2 out, 2-2 to Grissom. Wasted a good pitch.
One thing Atlanta would like to do also is if they're going to wrap it up, obviously you'll go to 5 games if you have to. But by going to 3 games, then they have their pitchers in line when the National League Championship Series starts on Wednesday. The deeper they go into the series, the less prepared their starters will be.
Now a full count on Grissom with Lemke on deck. If it ends here today, then they've got John Smoltz ready for game 1.
If the Dodgers win today, Smoltz will start tomorrow. And if the Dodgers win tomorrow, then it will be Maddox on Monday.
Runner at second, 2 out, 3-2, and now the walk. 2 on, 2 out for Lemke. That's now 5 walks issued by Hideo Nomo. 2 of them you can't quarrel with. Jones and McGriff back in the 3rd inning. He got away with it. Came back to get Klesko and then Javier Lopez. This walk continues the inning for Mark Lemke. But already 87 pitches for Nomo. Two on, 2 out. Lemke gets into one. Deep center field. Curtis over his head. 2 runs will score. And it's 3-0 Atlanta.
He's Bobby Cox's favorite player. Mark Lemke in postseason play always seems to come up big. Guessing fastball, getting fastball, high out over the middle of the plate, and strong enough to hammer it over Chad Curtis's head in center field. Okay, the big hit in this inning, Tommy Glavine's double.
No doubt. 2 doubles, a walk in between. Glavine started it. Lemke comes up with a big 2-out, 2-run double. Mark Lemke, a guy who hit .417 during the '91 World Series. And he turns his calendar from September to October. He's ready. Now Chipper Jones into deep right. 5-0 Braves.
a familiar look for Chipper Jones. He's done it 31 times this year.
And a very familiar sound here at Fulton County Stadium. With that swing by Chipper Jones, the Braves will wave bye-bye to Hideo Nomo and quite possibly the Dodgers in this divisional playoff. A two-out rally that started with a double by the pitcher Glavine. A walk to Grissom, a double by Lemke scored two, and on the two-run home run by Chipper Jones, it's the end of the day and maybe the end of the year for Hideo Nomo. He heads out. Guthrie coming in. Braves by 5. Dodgers have been shut out on only 3 hits, and you knew sooner or later the Braves would break out of it. And Hideo Nomo, the victim, allowing 5 runs on 5 hits. And a 2-out rally KOs him here in the 4th.
2-out rally started by a double by Tommy Glavine. Mark Guthrie, the left-hander on the mound, 2 and 3 on the year, 66 appearances in there for Nomo.
He deals with McGriff and deals him ball 1. 2 doubles, a walk, and a home run in the inning after the first 2 were retired by Nomo. 2-0 on McGriff. And if you're Los Angeles, you've scored 8 runs in your last 62 innings. Now you're down by 5 facing Glavine. They are working uphill this evening in Atlanta. 3-0 on McGriff. Two-out rallies for the Braves here this afternoon. 3-0 to McGriff. Now the walk from Guthrie. Cops in Miami. There's nothing hotter than what's happening on the streets except what's happening above them. Tonight, what shocking discovery will officers make on this rooftop? Find out on an all-new primetime Cops tonight right here on Fox. Here's Klesko, 1 on, 2 out, and the first strike of the evening from Guthrie. Ryan is 0 for 2 in the postseason. 1 out of 6 with that 1 being the home run back in L.A.
Braves have hit 5 home runs in this series by 5 different players. Jones, McGriff, Klesko, Dye, Jermaine Dye, and Javier Lopez.
1 on, 2 out. Strike 2 on Klesko. Chipper Jones came into this game 0 for 6 in this playoff. He singled with 2 out in the first inning and scored a run. Walked and stole a base in the 3rd and hit the 2-run home run here in the 4th. McGriff running. Klesko strikes out. The inning is over. And Guthrie just catches the throw from Piazza, which gets a smile from Mike, even on a very frustrating afternoon in Atlanta. We head into inning number 5. That's the key number. World champs lead by 5. With the sun setting in Atlanta and on the Dodgers, we get into the 5th inning. A 5-0 Brave lead, and Gagne looks at ball 1. It'll be Gagne, Castro, and then a pinch hitter here in the 5th inning. Gagne so far 0 for 1, a strikeout victim his first time. 1-1.
The Dodgers have not come back from a 5-run or more deficit this year. The largest deficit Bill Russell and the Dodgers have come back from, 4 runs in Chicago on June 18th. The one thing about Tommy Glavine right now, he can afford to be in the fatter part of the strike zone as we take a look at the owner of the Dodgers, Peter O'Malley, seeing perhaps his team lose their 6th straight postseason game. 3 and out against Cincinnati last year in the divisional playoffs, and 2 and trailing by 5 this year.
And you can say what you want about the differences between 1996 and 95, but there is one very big similarity. 3 and 2 on Gagne. They didn't score runs last year. They went 3 games, scored only 7 runs. Here they are so far, 3 games, this being the 3rd. They've scored 1 earned run, 3 runs total. Gagne with a count of 3 and 2 strikes out, and a good start for Glavine here in the 5th. Strikeout number 6.
Six straight fastballs, and that for the most part is what Glavine has featured tonight. Little dip at the end, and Gagne strikes out for the 2nd time. Bill Bartholomew, who is the president of the Atlanta Braves, Stan Kasten, John Schuerholz, the general manager, Bobby Cox. They have done a remarkable job winning and continuing to develop. It's the very most difficult thing to do in baseball, to continue to win and develop young players. Andrew Jones, Jermaine Dye, Terrell Wade, the young pitcher.
2 balls and a strike on Castro. When you get back to the Dodgers side and you look at what happened in the postseason in 95 and what's happened in 96, look at the makeup of this team. I don't think there's any question that Mike Piazza is a tired player. When your big thunder in your lineup goes into the kind of tailspin he's gone into power-wise, and remember, this Dodger team has not hit a home run since September 25th. At home against San Francisco, it was Karras's home run. This Dodger team needs a little reconfiguring.
That's a job for Fred Claire, the general manager of the Dodgers, and Bill Russell, who will, in all probability, be rehired for next year.
He's done a great job. When you look at what Bill Russell did and what the Dodgers did when he took over, and the way the Dodgers played up until the final week of the regular season, this was one of the hottest teams in baseball. It just ran out of gas. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and a 1-out walk to Juan Castro. 3rd walk issued by Glavine. There's a big part of it as well. When you lose a guy like Brett Butler, who had the bout with cancer, then came back, then the broken hand, and you struggle to find somebody at the top of this lineup, somebody to get on base ahead of Piazza, Karras, and Mondesi, then you're taking away a big weapon.
When Brett Butler went down, the Dodgers employed 5 different leadoff batters over the last half of the season.
Dave Clark will pinch hit. It's just great to see Brett Butler looking healthy, back in a uniform, lives in this area. Got a nice reception before the game. 1 on, 1 out. Read somewhere where somebody said even with the year that Eric Davis put together, even with the year that Ryan Sandberg put together, Tom Candiotti will get ready and pitch the bottom of this inning. You could make a strong case for Butler to get the comeback player of the year with what happened within this 1 year. 1-1 on Dave Clark. This Dodger team down 2 games to none, 5-0 in this game. Clark able to check his swing and the count 2 balls and a strike.
Dodgers need something shocking to happen. This pitch low from Glavine. 2 balls and a strike to Clark. They need a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer to shock them out of that sedation. I'll tell you that pitching, good pitching, can sedate an offense.
Doesn't get any better than what you have here in Atlanta. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You know, coming in at the end of the regular season, the Dodgers actually had the league's best ERA. But their bullpen had a lot to do with that. The Braves' rotation, not only with ability, but postseason experience, still has to get the nod over any pitching staff in baseball. Clark took strike 3. 2 out, 1 on, 5th inning. We go back to Hollywood and Chip Caray.
Gentlemen, the American League Championship Series is set. The Baltimore Orioles have beaten the defending American League champion Cleveland Indians 4-3 the final. Randy Myers worked a 1-2-3 12th. It's the Yankees and Baltimore. Back to you.
Congratulations to the Orioles. They did not have that fire sale right before the trading deadline. Hung on to Bonilla, hung on to Wells. Wells pitched today. Alomar continues to play, and he continues to produce. And they are headed to the American League Championship Series for a date with Joe Torre and the Yankees.
A team against whom they lost their last 6 of 7 meetings, including a 4-game sweep in late July in Baltimore.
Pair of strikeouts in the inning for Glavine. A walk in between. 1 on, 2 out. The batter is Curtis. Chad, a 1 ball, 1 strike count. That should end the inning. Lemke is there. Has a tough time with pop-ups, but he stays with it. The inning comes to a close. We are halfway through it in Atlanta. Braves trying to wrap up this division playoff with the Dodgers. They lead 5-0.
Coverage of Major League Baseball's Division Series is brought to you by Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By the Norelco Reflex Action Razor, anything closer could be too close for comfort. And by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust.
We get ready for the bottom of the 5th inning here in Atlanta. Tomorrow on America's favorite pregame show, Terry, Howie, JB, and Ronnie go around the league and look at some of the NFL's best and worst quarterbacks. It's Fox NFL Sunday beginning at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check local listings. Looks like they're going to pick on old Trent Dilfer. Say best, there's Brett Favre. He popped up. Say worst, there's Trent. He's had a rough start for the Buccaneers. Tony Dungy has had a rough start in Tampa Bay. Tom Candiotti takes over the knuckleballer for the year 9-11. Big ERA. Pitching in relief, Lopez gives us a souvenir just below the booth. The count 0-2. It almost started, went 3 2/3 innings. Guthrie 1/3 of an inning. Now Lopez facing Candiotti. So the day for Piazza goes from a frustrating day with everything that's transpired to go back to the clubhouse, go get your big glove. Candiotti's pitching now. 2-2.
Knuckleball is a misnomer. It's actually thrown with the fingertips.
Lopez got a piece of one, still 2-2.
And that hammered Mike Piazza. It looked like his left ankle took it. You mentioned the fatigue of Mike, and obviously catching 146 games this year. Not only fatigued, but banged up at left knee, possibly will undergo the arthroscopic surgery at the end of the season. He's had another remarkable year.
Lopez leading off. 3-2.
I mean, you saw Fred McGriff trying to steal with the 4th inning ending. I don't think the Braves think this game's over by any means. I think if they get on, they'll continue to try to manufacture runs.
Wallach gets the high hop. Makes it an easier play, and Lopez is retired. He's 0-2. The Olympic flame is out here in Atlanta. Temperatures dropping in October, but it always heats up here at Fulton County Stadium. Been to the postseason from 1991 on. They're now in the process, actually, of reconfiguring Ted Turner Stadium from the Olympic configuration to one that's more intimate for baseball. Jermaine Dye at the plate. He's 0 for 2. What they're doing with the new stadium, knocking down the farthest walls from what will be the home plate area, which is the left-hand side of your screen we showed you. It will be a stadium that will hold just under 50,000. And it will open up and actually look toward Fulton County Stadium and eventually look toward downtown Atlanta.
And it should be ready by the start of the 1997 season. And if it opens on schedule for the start of next year.
2-2 to Dye. 2 out and a good start to the inning for Candiotti.
That nasty knuckleball dancing around there by Tom Candiotti. Trying to catch a butterfly. But if the Braves' new ballpark opens on schedule, then Atlanta Fulton County Stadium will become the only ballpark in Major League history to host a postseason game as its final game.
Down the line and right and foul off the bat of Blauser. And Raul Mondesi makes a friend by giving a souvenir to someone down the right field line. Lopez grounded out. Dye struck out. Now Blauser, who's grounded out and walked. Sellout here today at Fulton County Stadium. Capacity 52,769. 31st year of baseball here at Fulton County Stadium. 1966 to 1996. There's a memory from Fulton County Stadium. You know, there was some talk as to whether they will take that plaque of sorts to the new ballpark.
Also talk as to whether the new ballpark might be named Henry Aaron Stadium, too. There's a lot going on here in Atlanta. A lot of people upset, we understand, that the new ballpark will be named Ted Turner Field instead of Hank Aaron Stadium.
They hope to name the street on which the ballpark sits Hank Aaron Way. Blauser up with 2 out, nobody on here in the 5th inning. Candiotti, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Dodgers. The count stays 1-2. Billy Russell and Dave Wallace, Hideo Nomo go 3 2/3 innings, allowing 5 runs on 5 hits. Guthrie, a 1/3 of an inning, a walk and a strikeout. And now Bobby's Atlanta Braves taking on Candiotti. Blauser trying to keep this inning alive for Tom Glavine, who had the biggest at-bat of the day so far. His 2-out double started that 4-run, 3-hit rally, which has opened up this game. Game number 3 of this series. Curtis back to get the drive off the bat of Blauser. And the Braves go in order for the first time today. We get into inning number 6. The Dodgers. Top of the 6th inning. Tom Glavine back to work, 5-0. Atlanta out in front, trying to wrap up this division playoff with the Dodgers. Collinsworth leads it off.
デビジョンシリーズの3戦目、5対0。
Doesn't sound like Joe Buck to me.
No, I don't think so. I do not think so. I believe that was the NHK Japanese broadcast bleeding over onto our Fox Air. Tom Collinsworth.
A lot of time to fill for those folks. Hideo Nomo starting this game.
lasting only 3 2/3 innings. There they are from NHK. That's the Japanese network. I understand 40 to 50 million people were tuned in at 5 a.m. to hear the broadcast.
Think any sets went off when Hideo left in the 4th inning? By the way, that's not Turner Broadcasting System. That's Tokyo Broadcasting System. Hello.
現在5対0、アトランタが5点のリード。東京ブロードキャスティング。ターナーブロードキャスティングシステムというのがアメリカにもありまして、そのターナーさんというのはこのアトランタブレーブスのオーナーなんですけれども、私たちは TBS と言いますと、あのターナーの TBS かとよく聞かれます。
I think I heard him identify the Tokyo Broadcasting System. Give him a little pop. What the heck? I think he was promoting the football pregame for tomorrow. On Fox. JB, Terry, Howie, Ronnie.
Oh, when Nomo left the game, there were more TV sets turned off since Godzilla got caught in the power lines.
They turned off the sets, went back to bed.
Yeah.
It's early over there.
Exactly.
It's Sunday morning after 6 a.m., but just after 6 a.m. Nomo left, and those guys we just showed you aren't speaking to a very big audience right now. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Hollingsworth. Piazza and Karras will follow. Right at Blauser. Easy 2-hopper, 1 away. That'll bring in Mike Piazza, as strong as any hitter in baseball. When his batteries are charged, he can hit the ball out of any ballpark in any direction. How about his home runs by direction? Wow, that might surprise a lot of people. I think it surprises you. 19 the opposite way.
Almost like a left-handed power hitter. Brute strength.
And that's why you could say with relative ease and assurance that he's just tired. The Dodgers as a team are not pounding the long ball. Piazza, especially after hitting a career-high 36. In fact, his father admitted that Mike is just worn out at this time of the year.
Mike's dad, Vince, in Los Angeles for the first 2 games. Really remarkable. A 62nd round draft choice. 1,300 players drafted before Piazza. And here he is, his 2nd year in the postseason.
Ball and 2 strikes on Mike, who does not have an extra base hit in this playoff. One out, nobody on, a ball and 2 strikes, and Piazza wants time. Piazza will take some time off at the end of the regular season, then crank it back up and go over to Japan for that All-Star Series. Piazza's a part of that. Normally thrilled to see Tom Glavine on the mound. Does have a hit and a walk here this evening, and he pops it up foul. Long run from McGriff, good effort, but just can't get there.
Pitcher like Tommy Glavine plays on the aggressiveness of the hitter. He knows a guy like Piazza is not up there to walk, even though he walked on 4 pitches his last time up. He continues to throw that teasing fastball on the outside corner. He's come in on 1 pitch intentionally tonight, and that was to Greg Gagne his first time up.
2-2. Here's that pitch it missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Frighteningly efficient, these Atlanta starters.
Glavine, 30 years old, the winningest pitcher in baseball the last 6 seasons. 106. 1 more than his buddy Greg Maddux. Still a 3-2 count on Piazza.
You think about the swings, Mike Piazza, a terrific hitter. Think about the swings he's had. Change-up, swing and a miss, meager foul ball down the right field line, and that one reaching for that. It's not that easy to get a good hitter like this and as strong as he is, swinging like he's been swinging.
Pops it up into right. Easy for Jermaine Dye. That leads us to trivia. 2 out, nobody on. It's time for the Aflac trivia question. Now, this is something a little different. This question submitted by the Honorable Zell Miller, Governor of the state of Georgia. So thank you, Zell, for the question. Here it is. What was the first relocated franchise to win the World Series?
The governor actually submitted that question.
Absolutely. I know a big contingent from Aflac is here at the ballpark watching this game. Okay. 2 out, nobody on. Karras at the plate. First pitch, a ball. Big reason why the Dodgers aren't scoring. Eric is hitless in this postseason, and that continues. He is 0 for 9. The Dodgers go 1-2-3. We go into the bottom of the 6th inning. Glavine and the Braves are rolling. Piazza and the Dodgers are frustrated. Atlanta leading 5-0. Of the 6th inning, Braves bat. Glavine will lead it off. Our Aflac trivia question. There it is. How about our Aflac trivia answer?
I think Milwaukee Braves.
You got it.
The reason I said that was the governor of Georgia gave the question, so it had to be something to do with the Braves, right?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking along those lines as well.
Something about the home of the Braves.
Braves were in Boston from 1901 to 1952, won a world championship in 1914. And the one we showed you in Milwaukee. They were in Milwaukee from 53 to 65. They beat the Yankees in 1957. Glavine pops up. Since they've been in Atlanta, 1966 to the present day, won their world championship in 1995, beating Cleveland 4-2. Red Millie Glavine, they have to be enjoying this.
Down from Massachusetts, every reason to be proud of their son. Not only for the way he's pitched, but that big double with 2 out and nobody on that opened the way for 4 runs in the 4th inning.
Here's Grissom. Still only 1 hit in this playoff. See how they rule that. Most likely an error on Wallach. Stayed down on Wallach. It didn't come up, and it shot under his glove. Glavine pops up, and now Grissom on with 1 out. We'll wait for the ruling. It's scored in E5.
Gloves up, balls down, right off the end of the webbing. An error on Tim Wallach, who could be playing his last game ever.
And he's going to hang it up at the end of this year. He got his chance to get back into the postseason with the Dodgers. Signed July 25th after being released from the Angels. What a debut he had this season with the Dodgers. Hit a grand slam in his first game back, beating Cincinnati. Here's Lemke. 1 on the error, 1 out. Here in the 6th inning, Braves up 5-0.
Joe, we talk about the eerie efficiency of the Atlanta starters. What about the efficiency of Bobby Cox?
You know,
a guy who does not get the credit that he so richly deserves.
Yeah, I was going to say, he is rarely talked about for manager of the year. People just assume that this Braves club runs itself. But Bobby Cox in that Atlanta, I don't know if it gets any better than that.
The only time Bobby Cox is talked about is when things aren't going well or when the Braves are in a funk. Seems like when they win, they're supposed to, and if they don't win, what's wrong with the manager?
Bobby Cox's contract has been extended through 1999 with a club option for the year 2000. 1-1 to Lemke. Now strike 2, 1-2. Cox has had a number of positions with this Atlanta organization, and as general manager, which he was from 1985 to 1990, he's responsible for Mordecai, Chipper Jones, Javier Lopez, Eddie Perez, Klesko, Smoltz made that great trade, Wohler, Steve Avery. He was in charge as general manager when those players came aboard. Lemke grounds to third. They get the force out, get them both. And again, a questionable call at first base, the 5-4-3 double play, and we are through 6 here in Atlanta. Braves trying to wrap it up. They lead by 5. Bottom of the 6th inning came to a close on a double play that I think shocked both of us.
Looked like Lemke was safe, and the pictures show it.
Bang, bang play. Lemke called out of the 5-4-3 double play. Nicely turned, by the way, by Wallach and Castro. Hasn't played a lot of second base in the big leagues. Strike one on Mondesi. McMichael getting ready in the Braves bullpen. Glavine is now up to 113 pitches on the day. So it's about time, even though he's working a shutout, to get him out of there. Mondesi, Wallach, and Gagne will bat here in the 7th inning for LA, down 5-0. Glavine has allowed only 3 hits. 2-1.
Last time up, Mondesi reached out and hit the hardest ball of this game for the Dodgers. He missed a home run by about 3 feet, hitting the right field fence right above the 385 sign.
That was in the top of the 4th inning. What followed in the bottom of the 4th inning was the 2-out rally, which blew this game open. The 4 runs on 3 hits to make it a 5-0 game. You know, who knows if that ball gets out, might have changed the entire perspective on the bottom of the inning. Deonomo ran into 2-out trouble, and Glavine was the one that started it with a double.
The Dodgers have just had no momentum in these 3 games. None offensively.
No mo. The count's still 2-2. We already know the pairing for the American League Championship Series. It will be the Yankees. Congratulations to New York. They took care of Texas. What a great series by Juan Gonzalez, and right there with him, Bernie Williams. They will take on the Orioles. Mondesi can fly. Good play by Jones. 1 away.
We have not been apprised, by the way, who the MVP was, as you see Jane Fonda and Ted Turner. But the MVP of the American League Divisional Series between the Yankees and the Rangers. But even though the Rangers just won 1 game, my pick would be Juan Gonzalez, who had 5 home runs in those 4 games.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Bernie Williams, a close second. Here's Wallach, a swinging bunt. Glavine knocks it away. That is strike 1 on Wallach. Tonight on NBC, it's game number 3 of the divisional playoff between St. Louis and San Diego. St. Louis holding a 2-0 lead with regard to games in that series. That is coming up tonight on NBC, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. The Padres now forced to sweep to advance.
The only time the Padres were in a league championship series back in '84, they won 3 in a row at Jack Murphy Stadium against the Cubs.
Donovan Osborne is on the mound tonight for St. Louis. Andy Ashby is pitching for San Diego. If the Padres win, and there is a game 4, we, meaning Fox, will bring you that game tomorrow night. That is, if in fact this lead holds up here. Glavine stabs that one. And Wallach, an easy second out. If the Dodgers should rally, tomorrow night's game here becomes our game. But the Dodgers down 5-0, and Glavine showing no signs of slowing down. Tomorrow night, Fox will bring you baseball at 7 o'clock Eastern. if that Padres series continues or if this Dodger-Braves series continues. Each could end today, and we could know the ALCS matchup, which we already do, New York and Baltimore. And it could be a Cardinal-Atlanta rematch. Those two teams met in the NLCS back in '82. Little bloop base hit for Gagne, and he is on with 2 out here in the 7th inning. You know who was managing the Atlanta Braves when they took on Whitey Herzog's St. Louis Cardinals back in 1982.
Joe Torre. Losing 3 in a row to Whitey Herzog and his Cardinals, and then the Cardinals went on to beat the Milwaukee Brewers in 7 games.
Atlanta fans look back on that NLCS and look at the weather. They had a big lead in game number 1, and then it was washed away.
Phil Niekro was the pitcher.
Cardinals came back in 1-3, moved on. And as you say, a very good 7-game series with the Milwaukee Brewers. A big part of that team, Willie McGee. He's back with the Cardinals. Ozzie Smith, a big part of that team. Here's Castro shooting one into left center field. Will the Dodgers crack the scoreboard? Here comes Gagne. The throw too late, and it's a 5-1 game. An RBI double by Castro, and the Dodgers trail by 4. Of all the people to put the Dodgers on the scoreboard, it's young Juan Castro with a 2-out run-scoring double.
This one of the few fastballs in the middle of the plate all night. You see Lopez away. The ball was up, out over the plate, and Castro spanks it into left center field, and that could be all for Tommy Glavine. Tell you, before that fat fastball, Tommy, like one of Father Flanagan's boys, he was living on the corners all night long. What a job.
Kroger Food Stores is proud to provide the aerial shots of today's divisional game from the world's largest blimp, the Spirit of Atlanta. Our thanks to Kroger for providing these beautiful shots. A very crisp evening here in Atlanta. A windy night. Wind is now blowing in as Billy Ashley comes off the bench to face Greg McMichael. It's a 5-1 Atlanta lead. Ashley has hit 5 pinch-hit home runs this season. Number 6 would make it a 2-run game.
Billy faced McMichael in game 2 and struck out swinging.
2-0. Glavine 6 2/3 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 126 pitches.
If the Dodgers get a home run right here, that could be an eye-opener.
Runner at second, 2 out. There's a strike from McMichael, 2-1.
Got down a 4-run lead, and he throws him a 2-0 changeup on the corner. That's Greg McMichael's best pitch, and if you're Ashley, probably should be looking for the straight change.
Castro, a 2-out RBI double. He's at second. Ashley comes up empty, 2-2. Chance for the Dodgers to jump back into this game here in the 7th inning. Castro at second, 2 out. Struck him out looking. Time to stretch in Atlanta. They're thinking sweep. They're thinking NLCS. They lead the Dodgers 5-1. Everybody's had a good stretch. We get ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. Scott Radinsky is the new pitcher for the Dodgers. If LA's season comes to a close today, it'll come at a good time for his hat. That thing has had it. A record of 5-1, a very good ERA. He can pitch. He's had a good first year with the Dodgers. There's a strike on Chipper Jones. 2 out of 8 in this series, but a big day today. He came in hitless. A single, a walk, and a stolen base, and a home run. This home run chased Nomo back in the 4th.
Yeah, I think Scott will start with a new hat next year.
I would imagine whoever lockers next to him will hope that he starts with a fresh hat.
Yeah, that's an old hat right there. That hat's seen some miles. That's almost like John Wetland's hat of the Yankees.
Hey, superstition. That's what it is. Get a lucky hat. Wetland's had a great year. Don't change the hat. Ball and 2 strikes on Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones stepped up after the Braves had added 2. They led 3-0 in the 4th inning, and that was the end of the day for Hideo Nomo. For Chipper, his 4th postseason home run. 3 last year, 2 in the divisional playoff with Colorado. There he is. He'll have to rest up if the Braves win today.
Wouldn't it figure? That guy's got a clean hat on. He should have Radinsky's hat on.
He should.
Yeah.
Jones strikes out looking for the first out here in the 7th inning. Tonight on an all-new Married with Children, watch out, Kathy Lee. It's a Bundy Mission Impossible. Al's going deep undercover to expose sweatshops. Don't miss Married with Children, and it's new night, Saturdays at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Fox. That's tonight.
So we go from the chop shop to the sweatshop. You got it.
Here's Fred McGriff. Perfect night for Fred, and it's turned into night here in Atlanta. A double for an RBI and a pair of walks. Up the middle, tough play Gagne. Good play Gagne, 2 out. Wonder if Greg Gagne will be back in a Dodger uniform next year.
I think so.
He said it's either LA or Boston. He would like to play back at home in Boston if they will have him. I think he's leaning toward going back to the American League.
I was under the impression that he signed a 2-year deal. Was it just a 1-year deal?
I believe it was a 1-year deal.
Is that right? From the Massachusetts area, 2 World Series to his credit. 2 World Series winners in '87 and '91 with Tom Kelly's Minnesota Twins. Matter of fact, the Twins beating the Atlanta Braves in 1991. That was the year when every game was won by the home team. Minnesota won the first 2 games at the Metrodome. The Braves won 3 games here. And the Twins finished them off 4-3, winning the last 2 games in Minneapolis.
2-1 on Klesko with 2 out, nobody on. Good first inning for Radinsky. Now 3-1.
Everybody's saying that with free agency and a lot of trades, the ways of the players now changing teams, that there can't be any dynasties. Well, Bobby Cox has got to disagree with that. 5 straight years in the postseason. And no signs of letting up in the future either.
In '91, they beat Pittsburgh in the NLCS 4-3. 92, they beat Pittsburgh 4-3. 93, they lost to Philadelphia. 94, there was no postseason. Last year, they beat Cincinnati 4 straight. Klesko comes up empty. You never know, looking at his base, that after 7, the Braves lead by 4. We are ready for the 8th inning here in Atlanta. Atlanta out in front 5-1. Our Mitsubishi playoff fact. National League Division Series, LA at Atlanta. Braves lead the series 2-0. Game 4 is Sunday here in Atlanta, if necessary. St. Louis and San Diego. Cardinals out in front 2-0. Game 3 is tonight in San Diego. And again, if that series continues to a Game 4, you will see it tomorrow night here on Fox, 7 Eastern. If this series produces a Game 4, you'll see that game tomorrow night here on Fox. Here is Wayne Kirby pinch hitting for Chad Curtis. The count 2-0 from McMichael. Kirby batting for Curtis, who is 0 for 2 with a walk.
If this series continues tomorrow night, you'll see a minor miracle, too. The way the Dodgers have been swinging the bats and the way the Atlanta arms have been so productive throughout this series. They are making it look easy, Joe, and it's not as easy as Atlanta is making it look. Everybody who's ever played the game, been around the game for a long time, knows that.
There's a strike, and it's 3-1 on Kirby. 8th inning, 5-1 Atlanta. Mike Piazza does not have an extra base hit in this series, and the only RBI today is off the bat of Juan Castro. A leadoff walk, a good start for the Dodgers as McMichael puts the leadoff man on base here in the 8th. So McMichael, who came on to strike out Billy Ashley last inning, issues the leadoff walk. Last month of the season, people started to raise questions about this Braves bullpen. They now have Wohlers and Vielecki getting ready down the right field line. But the fact remains that when you have a starting rotation that features Smoltz, Maddox, Glavine, Nagel, Avery, whomever, you're not going to see a lot of the bullpen. Talking about middle innings, those guys can get the game to McMichael and to Wohlers.
And some murmurings here in Fulton County Stadium. Greg McMichael, normally impeccable control. Chipper Jones joining Javier Lopez.
McMichael has issued a leadoff walk.
I would imagine Hollingsworth will be taking here. Dodgers trail by 4. They need base runners.
That leadoff walk could go a long way to help the Dodgers' cause in this game, because now you've got a 2-0 count on Hollingsworth with Piazza, Karras, Mondesi coming up. This could be their last chance to jump back into the game right here in the 8th.
And the crowd realizing that, some squirming here in this ballpark right now.
2-0, 3-0, and it is getting real interesting with Piazza on deck.
And Karras, and Mondesi.
McMichael in trouble. A leadoff walk to Kirby. 3-0 to Hollingsworth. He'll be taking. Caught the corner. Nothing is straight out of the hand of McMichael. 3-1.
Well, that's an interesting point, Joe, because now if Hollingsworth does get a pitch to hit, it's going to be a predictable pitch because McMichael's struggling so. This is going to be a fastball right down the pipe.
Hollingsworth comes up empty, full count.
And he swings at ball 4. So Todd Hollingsworth helping McMichael out here. Instead of 2 on and no outs, it's 3-2 to Hollingsworth.
So McMichael catches a break. Hollingsworth catches one and lines it to right. Kirby heads to third. Hollingsworth to second. He is safe with a double, and it's second and third, nobody out.
And Bill Russell breathing a sigh of relief. You have to make sure if you're going to get a double in that situation. Now Bobby Cox faced with a situation where he may elect to bring a stopper in the game. This ball a rocket down the right field line. Fine play by Jermaine Dye to make it close at second. Dodgers still very much alive. I think you may see Wohlers here.
I think you will see Wohlers here. Although Bobby Cox walks out, makes the motion to the bullpen. and he's going to go with Bielecki.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. Bielecki coming in, McMichael going out, Piazza coming up, and the Dodgers coming back. 8th inning, 5-1 Atlanta. This is the chance Billy Russell on your left hoped the Dodgers would get before the end of the day. Mike Bielecki in, second and third, nobody out, in Piazza trying to poke it to right. Fouls away, strike one. Piazza does have one hit in this game, 3 singles in this series.
Very interesting situation. Kirby on at third, Hollingsworth at second. Bobby Cox bringing Mike Bielecki in this situation instead of Mark Wohlers.
Second and third, nobody out, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
I mean, a case could be made that sometimes a stopper has to be brought in an inning where the other team is more likely to score. And the Dodgers are more likely to score now because they have runners on at second, third, and nobody out.
1-1 to Piazza. Into right field, down the line for Dye. Jermaine made a terrific catch. Kirby tags and scores, and it's a 5-2 game.
There is not a lot of room between the right field foul line and the stands, and Jermaine Dye runs out of room but makes the play using his left foot for support. Terrific play by Dye, and the Braves really wanted that out. If that were a tie game, you might not want him to catch that ball.
But that out is big.
Absolutely.
Getting Piazza the first out of the inning. Now a runner at third as both runners tagged and advanced. Kirby tagged and scored. Hollingsworth went to third, and now Karras 0 for 9 during the postseason. During the regular year, 34 home runs, 111 RBIs. 1-ball, 1 strike. Runner at third, 1 out. Good swing by Karras, but strike 2.
Mike Bielecki, what a great story. He had quit baseball. He called his friend Kent Mercker this spring, wondering whether there was availability in any major league camp. And Kent Mercker, who's now with Cleveland, said, why not try Atlanta? He did, and here he is pitching in postseason.
Still has a very good fastball to count 2-2.
Mike kept himself in shape over the winter, but he had, last year, he had said, well, my major league career is over. He has had a terrific year for Bobby Cox.
Runner at third, 1 out, and now a full count on Karras. Mondesi on deck, and if Karras can reach, Mondesi would be the tying run, and he's already narrowly missed a home run in this game. Hollingsworth, the only hit in this inning, a double. He's at third, 1 run in, 1 out. To Karras. Do it again. Bielecki still able to hit 90 miles per hour. Runner at third, 1 out. And now Mondesi will step to the plate as the tying run. 2 walks and a double in the inning. 1 run is in, and it's 2 on, 1 out for Mondesi. I think you bring up an excellent point that even though Wohlers is the guy normally pitching in the 9th inning, racking up the saves, the save may come here in the 8th inning. Even though it's not a statistical save,
But this is the time you stop the other team. I mean, if Wohlers comes in and does the job, the Braves still have a 3-run lead in the 9th inning. Then you can either pitch Bilecki or stick with Wohlers.
The heart of the order trying to get it done against Atlanta here in the 8th inning. 2 on, 1 out, Mondesi. That caught the outside corner for a strike.
If you're thinking of Wohlers and how many times he's worked more than 1 inning this year, he's done it 12 times. 12.
Double play ball gets the Braves out of this tough 8th inning. Mondesi, the tying run at the plate. Big swing, strike 2.
Just outside. Remember, Mondesi, a notorious bad ball hitter.
Runners at the corners, 1 out, and a 1-2 count on Mondesi, the tying run. Got it. Bobby Cox will go to Wohlers. Bilecki comes in, gets Piazza, walks Karras, gets Mondesi, and now the tying run will be represented by Tim Wallach. He will face Mark Wohlers. Good work by Bilecki. A double switch here in the 8th inning. Bilecki did his job here in the 8th. Braves hanging on. They lead by 3. Mondesi struck out. Now it's Wohlers. Right here in Atlanta. Braves thinking sweep, thinking National League Championship Series. They're up on the Dodgers, 2-0. We'd like to thank the Kroger Blimp, Spirit of Atlanta, for all the beautiful shots they have given us here this afternoon and this evening. Tomorrow on Fox NFL Sunday, Brett Favre and the Packers battle Curtis Conway and the Bears in a tough NFC Central matchup, plus exciting regional action. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check local listings for the game and time in your area right here on Fox National Football League. Here is Wohlers, first and third, 2 out, and he will deal with a tying run at the plate, Tim Wallach.
Mark, with 39 saves on the regular season, a franchise record, 2 saves in the divisional playoffs, and I would be very surprised if he gives Tim Wallach one of 2 things: breaking balls or balls down in the strike zone. Tim Wallach's best chance to hit a home run are on balls down in the strike zone. As the double switch was made, Andrew Jones in the ball game, batting 9th in the order, and Ryan Klesko out of the game.
So the pitcher batting in the 5 spot. And here is Wallach. Has not had any success against Wohlers. Runner at third is Hollingsworth. At first, it's Karras, 2 out. Tying run at the plate, Wallach. Got under it. That should end the inning. Grissom gives way to Andrew Jones. The rookie came up with it. Grissom looked at Blauser. Blauser looked at Grissom. In came Andrew Jones. In came Wohlers. Out go the Dodgers.
Of Major League Baseball's Division Series is brought to you by Network MCI. We have the power to put it all together for your business. By the full line of new 1997 cars from Mitsubishi, built for living. by new Speed Stick Gel. It's unbeatable gel protection just for the guy. And by Alliance Capital, investing without the mystery.
Cool night here in Atlanta. The wind has died down a little. We get into the bottom of the 8th inning. It feels like October. 3 changes for the Dodgers. Wayne Kirby stays in the game. He's at center. Dave Hansen takes over at third base. And the new pitcher, Antonio Osuna. Javier Lopez looks at ball 1. Up and in. There's Hansen. He's at third. He'll bat 9th, and pitching and batting 6th is Osuna. Two and 0 on Lopez. Antonio Osuna gave up what was the game-winning home run to Javier Lopez back on Wednesday in the 2-1 Atlanta win at Dodger Stadium. Came in the 10th inning, made Smoltz a winner, and set up Wohlers for his first of what he hopes will be 3 saves in this divisional playoff. Lopez shoots one to center. And he's on to start the 8th.
That is a similar pitch on which he hit the home run on Wednesday afternoon. Fastball out over the plate.
The Dodger bullpen has lost its last 4 opportunities to win a ball game. Valdez, the loser, on Thursday night. Before that, it was Osuna. Before that, the San Diego Padres series. 1 on, nobody out. The batter is dying, going to bunt. Nobody can get there. Strike 1.
That was a huge play, by the way, by Jermaine Dye on that catch of Mike Piazza. Defensive play of the game.
With Fox, you put a microphone in the wall.
Some of those saves come hard, don't they?
Jermaine Dye, the catch. Down the right field line. Microphones in the wall. Microphones in the bases. Jermaine Dye tried to take one out. Check on Lopez. Javi does not have a big lead. It's October in Atlanta. You'll hear that sound for the next week or 2. One ball, 1 strike on Dye. Jermaine's only hit, the home run in the 7th inning, to help the Braves win Game 2 of this series on Thursday. Fights one off into right. And the first 2 are on here in the 8th inning.
That's exactly what he did, too. That ball up and in. Probably a ball off the plate. And Jermaine Dye showing quick hands on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Lopez had to hold up to see if the ball was going to be caught by Castro. But things developing for another big inning for the Braves.
Antonio Osuna, who for the better part of the regular season was as good as there was in anybody's bullpen, has sprung a leak here at the end of September, early October.
I think you may see a bunt right here, Joe.
Lauser at the plate, 2 on, nobody out. Strike 1, and they have the runner caught. Lopez safe. Dye safe. Tim, that looked like it was by design.
No, Mike Piazza throwing behind Lopez. and Lopez was halfway. He figured he was going to get caught. He just took off. Dye alertly as the trail runner going back. Lopez is dead. He's hung out to dry. He figured, well, I might as well get a break to third. The tag was high by Hansen. No tag on Dye.
That's what Lopez did. He didn't hesitate.
Yeah, right.
The second Piazza came up throwing, he put his head down. Just beat the tag.
That's exactly right. He figured, I'm dead anyway. I might as well try to go to third. Hung out to dry, and it worked for the Braves.
Everything working for Atlanta. Now second and third, nobody out. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Blauser.
Even the Braves' mistakes work in their favor. And that was a base-running mistake.
I'd like to thank our Fox crew for all the beautiful shots they've provided here this evening. Dodgers trying to hang in. It's second and third, nobody out for Blauser. Good rip, strike 2. Bobby Cox and the Atlanta Braves trying to get back to the National League Championship Series. They were there last year, and they swept the Cincinnati Reds. Second and third, nobody out, and a 2-2 count on Blauser. Remember, Andrew Jones is batting in the number 9 spot. He waits on deck.
I think Lopez at third will make the ball go through, a ball hit on the ground. If there were one out, he would possibly come home. Osuna looking for the pop-up or the strikeout here.
Braves already leading by 3. Full count on Blauser. 2 singles, 2 stolen bases. And it's second and third, nobody out. A 3-2 count on Blauser. Lopez, the aggressive base running at third. Jermaine Dye at second. 1 away. And a big strikeout for Antonio Osuna.
So he got the strikeout, got first base open, but I think if I were Bill Russell, I would prefer to pitch to the inexperienced. I think you go get Andrew Jones right here. 19 years, 5 months, and 9 days old. This is the breaking ball on the 3-2 count to Blauser. So Osuna 1/3 of the way out of the hole. On a ground ball, expect Lopez to come home. There are a lot of things Bobby Cox could do here. He could squeeze. Distinct possibility. He could just allow Jones to hit on his own, and sure enough, Bill Russell's going to pitch to the inexperience of Andrew Jones.
It's his first postseason at bat. Second and third, 1 out. Trying to add to the Atlanta 3-run 8th inning lead. Andrew Jones made the climb, started the year single-A level. Double-A, triple-A, big leagues, postseason, 2-0. Dodgers trying to stay close. Infield in, 2-0 the count, now 3-0. Jones very patient at the plate. Marquise Grissom waiting on deck.
I'll tell you, Andrew Jones' age again, 19 years, 5 months, 9 days. Youngest player in postseason since Kenny Brett in '67.
Right down the middle, 3-1. So you know Osuna's not pitching around him. 3 balls and a strike. Just missed with the first 3. So Jones ought to get something to rip here. Just low, and the walk will load the bases. And that's going to be all for Antonio Osuna. They're going to go right to their closer. Actually, Darren Dreifert. They had Worrell up earlier. Now Dreifert. Is he in a tough spot? Osuna put him there. 2 hits and a walk. Bases loaded, 1 out. Darren Dreifert coming in for L.A. tonight. Now, Fox will have the game for you tomorrow night if that series goes 4 games. Padres would have to win tonight for that to happen. And that hinges upon whether this series is over. Right now, as you look at the game summary, it's a 5-2 Atlanta lead, bottom of the 8th inning. McGriff an RBI in the first inning. Lemke, a big 2-run double. Then the 2-run home run by Chipper Jones. But all that was possible because of a 2-out double by Tom Glavine, the pitcher. Dreifert on the mound for the Dodgers. The bases loaded, Atlanta. And here's Grissom.
How hard does Darren Dreifert throw? Tony Gwynn telling Joe and me 10 days ago the hardest he's seen in the National League this year.
Bases loaded. Strike 1, 97 miles per hour. And that's saying something from a guy like Gwynn, who is in the same league as Mark Wohlers.
Yeah.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Grissom only 1 hit in this playoff with the Dodgers. Strike 2 and a blink. 98 miles per hour. And you're talking about a guy who missed the season with reconstructive elbow surgery. Is in, bases loaded, 1 out, and a 1-2 count on Grissom.
It's interesting bringing the infield in. By doing that, what Bill Russell is saying, that we're not going to double up Marquise Grissom. If there is a play on a ground ball, it's going to be home, not to second and first.
Bases loaded, 1 out, 1-2 pitch to Grissom. Lopez led off this inning with a hit, then a hit by Dye. A double steal as Lopez was caught wandering too far off second base. Lauser struck out, but a walk to Andrew Jones. Dodgers hanging by a thread.
That gives you an idea of how hard Dreifert is throwing. Marquise Grissom, a pull hitter, 23 home runs this year. He knows the fastball's coming. He's fouled off 3 balls to the right. He cannot get around on the fastball. If he does get around, the fastball will be down in the strike zone.
One-two from Dreifert. Caught. Double play, and the inning is over. Dreifert able to catch the line drive off the bat of Grissom. What a play. The 1-5 double play, and now after 8, the Dodgers hang it in. We go to the 9th inning. Wohlers back to work. Braves trying to wrap it up in 3. They lead by 3. Coming up in this 9th inning, Tim and I will select the Chevrolet player of the game. What a catch by Dreifert.
I'll tell you, if nobody were out, this would have been a triple play.
We were here for the Dodgers' first triple play in 47 years. The batter was Chipper Jones. Grissom on second, Lauser on first, Castro the over-the-shoulder catch to the Shields to Karras, and the first one since 1949 right here at Fulton County Stadium. Gagne leads it off. We are in the ninth inning. Braves trying to sweep the Dodgers. They lead 5-2. Rafael Belliard takes over at short. And here in the ninth inning, it'll be Gagne, then Castro, then Hansen.
I think Mark Wohler's left foot found a hole that possibly Osuna or Dreifert was stepping in. That happens occasionally. Pitchers, because of their size, Mark Wohler 6'4", he overextended and could have sprained an ankle then. He's all right, however.
He's got a pretty big foundation with those big feet of his.
Yep. That first pitch or the second pitch that Wohler threw Gagne, his left foot turned over just a bit.
Gagne leading it off here in the ninth inning. And ahead on the count, 2 balls and a strike. Broke his bat to McGriff, an easy out. And Wohlers just sawed him off. Tice.
All right.
96 years old, enjoying the Braves, and again a trip to the postseason. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Castro, and there's strike 1. All of us at Fox are gearing up for the National League Championship Series, which comes up next week. After that, you'll find the 1996 World Series right here on Fox. We've had a fun regular season covering the game of the week on Saturdays. Now it's time for the postseason, and Tim, I know you and I want to thank the great work done this year by everybody at Fox, but in particular, John Filippelli, our producer, and Bill Webb, our director.
Steve Horn with the numbers.
The rest of our cast and crew had a fun year, and it's just starting to heat up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Castro in the hole, 1-2. 98 miles per hour from Wohler. This Atlanta crowd wants out number 2 right here. They got it. The Dodgers down to their final out in 1996, and it's Dave Hansen digging in. Ball 1. Second at bat for Hansen in this series. 1-1. Wohler's trying to save all 3 potential Atlanta wins. You got game 1, game 2, trying to get game 3. Into left field. Andruw Jones. They're going back to the National League Championship Series.
think this is a stronger Atlanta Braves team going to the League Championship Series than went last year. Last year, they wound up as world champions. Heavy favorites, I would think, could do the same thing this year.
They went in 91. They went in 92. 93, they lost to Philadelphia. 94, there was no postseason. Last year, a sweep of Cincinnati, and in 1996, they'll await the winner of San Diego, St. Louis. That game is coming up on NBC tonight. Tom Glavine is our Chevrolet player of the game. Mike Piazza and the Dodgers pack up. Look ahead to 1997. The Braves have a lot to play for the NLCS. And they'll try to make it back to the World Series for a defense of their World Championship crown. The NLCS begins here on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Atlanta against the winner of the St. Louis-San Diego series. The Braves are going back. There's the final out. Wohlers and the Braves wrap it up. A sweep over the Los Angeles Dodgers. So for Tim McCarver, I'm Joe Buck from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, where the final score is the Atlanta Braves, the world champions, 5, the Dodgers 2. Coming up next, Chip Carey in our Hollywood studios. From all of us in Atlanta, good night from Georgia.
Sweep it is for the Atlanta Braves. They polish off the Los Angeles Dodgers. 3 races down, 1 left to decide. And what a race that should be. Welcome back inside our Hollywood television studio. Tonight on NBC, it is Game 3 between the Cardinals and the Padres. The Cardinals lead the best-of-5 series, 2-0. Donovan Osborne and Andy Ashby. If there is a Game 4, if necessary, Todd Stottlemyre would take on Joey Hamilton from Jack Murphy Stadium. Tomorrow's lineup on Fox, of course, the NFL continues. 12 o'clock Eastern with the pregame show. The late game has the 49ers taking on the Rams. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Followed by Game 4, if necessary, the Cardinals and the San Diego Padres from Jack Murphy Stadium. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, we will have the National League Championship Series, Game 1, coming your way from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, 8 o'clock Eastern, Wednesday evening. So for Dave Winfield and Steve Lyons, this is Chip Carey. We'll see you tomorrow or Wednesday. Until next time, so long, everybody.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home of the Stanley Cup, World Series, and Super Bowl 31.
A sweep over the Los Angeles Dodgers. So for Tim McCarver, I'm Joe Buck from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, where the final score is the Atlanta Braves, the world champions, 5, the Dodgers 2. Coming up next, Chip Carey in our Hollywood studios. From all of us in Atlanta, good night from Georgia.
Sweep it is for the Atlanta Braves. They polish off the Los Angeles Dodgers. 3 races down, 1 left to decide. And what a race that should be. Welcome back inside our Hollywood television studio. Tonight on NBC, it is Game 3 between the Cardinals and the Padres. The Cardinals lead the best-of-5 series, 2-0. Donovan Osborne and Andy Ashby. If there is a Game 4, if necessary, Todd Stottlemyre would take on Joey Hamilton from Jack Murphy Stadium. Tomorrow's lineup on Fox, of course, the NFL continues. 12 o'clock Eastern with the pregame show. The late game has the 49ers taking on the Rams. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Followed by Game 4, if necessary, the Cardinals and the San Diego Padres from Jack Murphy Stadium. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, we will have the National League Championship Series, Game 1, coming your way from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, 8 o'clock Eastern, Wednesday evening. So for Dave Winfield and Steve Lyons, this is Chip Carey. We'll see you tomorrow or Wednesday. Until next time, so long, everybody.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home of the Stanley Cup, World Series, and Super Bowl 31.